Yo, Born, show them how we do this, man. BTBTV, we bully the bullies. No run, no retreat. Yeah, BTBTV. One more time for y'all in the back. Y'all slow ninjas. Rah. Yo, John Gotti flow, rap Pablo, Escobar status, rap game Corleone. I can show you how you lay back and watch your pockets grow. Stay away from devious women, end up like Papa Smoke. Y'all wake up every day twitching like, yo, I gotta post. I wake up every day mission, it's $1 million notes, dominoes, bodies drop, rot stink like toes. Broadway, man, if you know, then you know. I came for everything they said I couldn't have, got that and then some, and then some. My wins on overload, say y'all overdose. Your rappers in the tight squeeze and that clutch like Cobra rope, the okie doke. We don't go for that. All she wrote, another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the folks who want to play to them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street, black mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street, like an opera show. These kids be acting to their life movie, curtain closed. Nowadays your foes will plot you wearing Malcolm X hats, 666, the devil on his shoulder won the death match. Reminiscing when more street ninjas was off the hook, chasing D's up off the block, trying to run and get the force, blood on pavement. He's 12 years old and he tough to play with. He don't go to playgrounds, that's his fiends who want their vein stick. We can't miss, we can hit the target with our hands behind our back, our eyes closed and half brainless. Don't play with us. Another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the foe who want to play to them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street, black mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street, like an opera show. These kids be acting till they like movie curtain close. Yeah, BTBTV.
It's the movement, bro.
You already know.
You're born, let's get him. Let's get him. Kaz, we up in here, man.
Yeah. You hear me, bro?
Hood famous.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect.
How you doing today, King?
I'm great. All wise and civilized, bro. We're waiting for a few more people to come through. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. So yeah, that's fine.
But you already know. But but what I'm gonna do is, bro, I gotta do this, bro, because I'm tired of all this domestic violence shit. And you know what I'm saying? And then men, people don't understand that men be getting domestically abused too, bro.
That's right. And that'll be a beautiful thing for you to start. It's a different lane, my G. That's what I'm saying. We gotta start carving our own avenues. You know what I'm saying?
But this still is the you know the channel is. We know the name of the channel is, bro.
Well, think about it like this:
the Jersey Gangster Chronicles. I'm doing everything on it though. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're doing it right because you remember now, shit, you still bullying the bullies too. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't be putting your hands on those people. Because I done seen it. You know, God bless it dead. My mom went through that, man. You know, when I was little, man, my dad did it to my mama and almost killed my mom.
My dad did it to my mother. My husband did it to her. But then I also seen my first ex-wife. She used to play as a me, and I'm gonna tell you the story. We don't get all pop. Wait for Matt Me coming up, Ja coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, shout your channel out now because I don't got that many subscribers to this channel. I'm trying to build it up now. I get 22, probably 23, some shit like that. But I'm my other channel be up back up Wednesday. But I'm still do both channels because I found out you can do a StreamYard. If you got two separate channels for two different pages, two different emails, you can put them together on the StreamYard and you can go live on both channels at the same time.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, both your channels at the same time. You go live both your channels at the same time, bro.
And I need to get with you anyway to show you that power direct so you can start adding your videos and you can just put them, and file them up. So when you get ready to go, you just what I do is I take my file, I email it to my personal email, then I download the whole Power Direct as one video. You see what I'm saying? Where you got my copyright. So I create all that. I gotta with my format set up. All I gotta do is take the video out. Everything else is formatted, and I just put a new video in there.
Yo,
So
but before everybody get it, oh yeah, go ahead, finish on. Before everybody get it, I want you to check this out real quick.
Go ahead.
Now, this stuff right. Hold on. All right, hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 second, bro. I'm gonna play this, man. And when everybody's coming, we can go back over it though. This is a Crip dude. Listen.
A member of the Hoover Crips gang,
right.
had forced his girlfriend's brother to dial 911 to report of a shooting at his girlfriend's property on 54th Avenue and Elwood Street in Phoenix, Arizona. The brother, audibly distressed, was forced to tell police that an intruder had broke in and shot his sister, 29-year-old Shatifa Lobley. However, something more sinister had occurred, and for police, they were about to go head-on in a life or death situation.
Phoenix 911, where is your emergency?
Gunshot wound. There's a gunshot wound.
Where?
We had an intruder.
Is that a house?
Yeah.
So you shot an intruder?
Baby, wake up. Wake up, baby.
Hello, is somebody there to talk to me?
Huh?
Who
Wake up. It's a gunshot wound. We had an intruder.
I got that. Can I talk to one person who got shot?
My wife.
Who
They came in here trying to rob us. They came in here and robbed us.
Okay, how many were there?
It was 3 of them.
Did you see their race, white, black, Hispanic?
They had masks on. I can't say.
Okay, what kind of, did they all have weapons?
Yes, they are. Babe!
When did they leave?
Wake up! Wake up, babe! Wake up! Wake up!
Live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right software to make your streams look really professional can be a real chore.
With a huge task at hand, patrol officers
You get that, God? Your mic's muted. Oh, you probably on the other line.
Hold on, my bad. All right. Yeah, I got that disclaimer. This content is for the sole purpose to educate and inform. It is not intended to offend, press any views or agendas towards anyone. Some videos may be subject to copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, education, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute and is not infringement of copyright. Let's go back to this video, y'all. Let's go back to this. What's up, my boy? L. Compost. That's my boy Mac Mean right there, yo. That's my boy The Plug. Cross your heart.
Salute, King.
Salute.
Yo, y'all know each other already?
Something like that.
No beef, no beef.
No. Heard of him? No.
I don't even know who's on there.
That's Cross. My boy Cross your heart. He from he does all clothing line.
Oh, okay. That's you be giving Krishan clothes.
He be giving me clothes. He be giving Jamel clothes.
Yeah. Salute, King. Salute.
Yeah. I want some of his shit, man. I gotta follow up with you, man. What's your IG, real quick? My bad. I don't mean to take the show somewhere else.
All right, no, go. You good, bro?
Go to Cross Your Heart on Instagram. It's Cross with a K. One word. Cross Your Heart.
Oh, got you. KYH, right?
Yep, KYH.
I'm following you now.
All right. I'll follow you back here in 1 second when I jump on that Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want y'all to see this real quick, man. Then we're gonna talk. I'm gonna show y'all
And also,
domestic violence.
and also, Born, what you do is in your description on your YouTube, down at the bottom when you put your description, copy and paste that what I sent you, and you do that in every video, and you good.
Yeah. All right,
Yep.
bet.
Yep.
All right. Here we go, y'all.
And you do that in every video.
Yo, somebody got to turn off their YouTube.
Yeah, I don't got mine on.
That was me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to share the video.
I bet. Thanks, bro. Let me let you. We're gonna start. But listen to this real quick.
36-year-old Morris Richard
Good morning,
Jones
Miss
III,
BTV.
a member of the Hoover Crips gang, had forced his at the time girlfriend's brother to dial 911 to report of a shooting at his girlfriend's property on 54th Avenue and Elwood Street in Phoenix, Arizona. The brother, audibly distressed, was forced to tell police that an intruder had broke in and shot his sister, 29-year-old Shatifa Lobley. However, something more sinister had occurred, and for police, they were about to go head-on in a life or death situation.
Phoenix 911, where is your emergency?
It's a gunshot wound. It's a gunshot wound.
Where?
We had an intruder.
Is that a house?
Yeah.
So you shot an intruder?
Baby, wake up. Wake up, baby.
Hello, is somebody there to talk to me?
Huh?
Who got
Wake
shot?
up. It's a gunshot wound. We had an intruder.
I got that. Can I talk to one person? Who got shot?
My wife.
Who?
They came in here trying to rob us. They came in here and robbed us.
Okay, how many were there?
It was 3 of them.
Did you
They
see
keep
the
it
race,
going.
white, black, Hispanic?
They had masks on. I can't say.
Okay, what kind of, did they all have weapons?
Yes, they are. Babe!
What time did they leave?
Wake up! Wake up, babe! Wake up! Wake up!
With a huge task at hand, patrol officers responded to the scene where they initially thought they were attending an address with 3 complete innocent bystanders. For 2 of them, that was the case, but it would only take 1 to put multiple lives in danger, even that of an infant child.
Come on, bro. Come on. Who's all in the house? Huh? Who's all in the house? It's me.
That's Morris Jones. For reasons still unknown, he had shot his girlfriend, Shatifa, that morning just prior to police arriving, and had baited police to attend the address so he could go all out and potentially kill police officers in the process. The only context we have to try and build a picture leading up to this moment is that although we don't know specifically why Morris decided to turn the gun on Shatifa,
Hold up
we
for a
do
second.
know that
Hold
they
up.
had an
Before the
argument
phone
the night before. You see, Morris had hit her while she was holding their 1-month-old daughter, and
hold up, this nigga got a cigarette in his hand?
Yeah, that nigga look wild as hell. That nigga like he on the prison yard right now.
Yo, he already ready to die or go to, he want to go out with a cigarette. I'd have went out with a Quran. This nigga is a fool. A whole fool.
Definitely a fool, bro. Let's catch up to this shit, because this shit crazy.
Right.
Y'all gonna this. Oh,
fast
man.
forwarding to the morning in question, they had an argument about something, but it's not clear what that dispute was about.
Oh, he burnt him.
The cop hauling ass.
Due to a 30-second buffer
out of there.
of police body cam footage, no audio is available for this portion of the video. But police reports say that when backup arrived on the scene, just as the first officer was hit, Morris was shot by police officers as he was closing his door. And from what police believed was a distress call for help, had now turned into a potential hostage situation with a 1-month-old child inside the property.
Where's this at? Cause I heard you muted.
Oh.
Yeah, you muted.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, that's right, Phoenix. Yeah.
That fat stomach nigga.
I got you.
That nigga look like he just got off the prison
He's
yard,
shooting
bro.
at the
Yeah, that's what I
helicopter.
said. Just like came off the yard.
This nigga shooting at the helicopter. What are we talking about?
This nigga thinking.
My man had ham, cheese, orange juice, and bullets for breakfast.
Yeah, he had all that shit. No bullshit. That nigga mad. That nigga was mad because he didn't get to clean up the pod. He ain't clean the dorm up. That nigga want to go back to jail.
What's up with these niggas?
I think he tried to commit suicide, bro, by cop.
Yeah. Suicide by cop. Is that suicide by cop? Who the fuck is that?
That's the people he had hostage. That's the girl brother, I think.
Nah. Word? So he didn't kill the brother?
Roughly 25 minutes after police were called to the scene, and with a huge perimeter set up around the house, Shatifa's brother, the one who made the call, emerged from the property with the baby in hand. Police at that moment didn't know his involvement. As a quick side note, he wasn't involved in anything. He was innocent. But given the circumstances, they treated him as a suspect as no communication had been set up between the house and any police units outside. A local cameraman picked up what happened next.
Got a baby.
In 2018, John Fetterman said,
I don't support fracking.
Fetterman appears confused about his own extreme.
That nigga had a Marlboro light in his hand.
What you say? He had a Marlboro Light or a Virginia Slim?
That nigga had a Camel.
Hey, he had one of them cigarettes. My granddaddy smoked them pyramids. That nigga had a pyramid.
That nigga had a Paul Moore with no.
Oh damn, a Paul Moore, no filter.
Fences and hedges, ultralight menthol. And my man right here with the Gucci purse. You know what I'm saying? I mean Louis. Why he didn't die?
That's the sister's brother.
Damn.
So he didn't have nothing to do with it.
Nah.
Them all seem like a bunch of suckers. You got all them niggas in there. Ain't nobody do none of this big belly nigga.
You know what's wrong with this though, Cross? The nigga got his pants all the way down off his ass.
Right.
Go back a little bit more. This is what I'm talking about. This is what's wrong. It's not the police. It's not the killing. It's none of this. It's these niggas with their pants down.
Right.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Right. Stop right there for 1 second, boy, because you've been to jail. Right. Listen.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying this. It's not even that. It's not even. It sounds like I'm gonna go there, but it's not really that. What it is this, right? When anytime where I was in my cell, right? You know, and I had a 20-year sentence, and I was time to come out my cell, and it's go time. I want to make sure my pants is all the way up and my sneakers is tied.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
But that it just shows you the age, the difference. Because let me tell you something, we was geared to learn and go.
That's right.
Now, when I'm in this situation and my sister just got murdered, I got the baby, the police out there, I know what's gonna happen. They're gonna try to blitz. So let me tighten my sneakers.
Yeah, and I'm gonna run.
Yeah, let me pull my pants up at least. I mean, obvious too, you know, if he goes to jail. I'm done. I'll end it with that. Peace.
Peace, Queen.
Peace and love.
That's the mother's bar.
Peace and love, everybody.
Please, Queen.
All I see is light skin and pretty hair.
Mashallah. Thank you.
Mashallah. Mashallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. So what's this video I'm watching?
All right, I'm gonna start from the beginning for you.
You gotta go back. You gotta go back. You just shocked the shit out of me with this because you didn't tell me all this when
in the early hours of February 11th, 2022, 36-year-old Morris Richard Jones III, a member of the Hoover Crips gang, had forced his at the
Hold
time.
on. Can we stop that?
911 to report of a shooting at his girlfriend's property on 54th Avenue.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear that in the beginning. I just wanted to clarify that he's a Crip.
Yeah.
This is what the Arizona
No
Crips.
problem.
This is what
Right.
Arizona Crips is doing. Okay, cool. My bad.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Avenue and Elwood Street in Phoenix, Arizona. The brother, audibly distressed, was forced to tell police that an intruder had broke in and shot his sister, 29-year-old Shatifa Lobley. However, something more sinister had occurred, and for police, they were about to go head-on in a life or death situation.
Phoenix 911, where is your emergency?
Gunshot wound. There's a gunshot wound.
Where?
We had an intruder. We had an intruder.
Is that a house?
Yeah.
So you just
Baby.
you shot an intruder?
Baby, wake up. Wake up, baby.
Hello, is somebody there to talk to me?
Huh?
Who got
Wake
shot?
up.
Oh, he got his brother on the
It's a gunshot
phone.
wound. We had an intruder.
He got a brother. He got a brother on the phone.
One person who got
That's
shot.
crazy.
My wife.
Who
They
is
came in here trying to rob us. They came in here and robbed us.
Okay, how many were there?
It was 3 of them.
Did you
They
see
kicked
the
the door
race,
in.
white, black, Hispanic?
They had masks on. I can't say.
Okay, what kind of, did they all have weapons?
Yes, they are. Baby.
When did they leave?
Don't wake up. Wake up, baby.
Hold up for 1 second. One second.
With a huge task at hand, patrol officers responded to the scene where they initially...
Yeah.
So just to be clear, you telling me when... Okay. He shot his girl. The girl's brother, he made the girl's brother call 911. And that's the girl's brother on the phone speaking to them while he's coaching him into what to say.
Well, it sound like they was loving.
Come on, bro. You feel
That's
me?
It sounded like they made some shit up as it was going on. What to say?
Oh, but you know what? It's either that sister. It's either that directly, or he was like telling what I said, because when they got to the crib, the police got to the crib. Dude had a Winston light in his hand, and on the other hand, he had a gun. So when the police came, he just started bucking at the police. So it makes
it's like they knew she, like they was waiting for it.
But I can't say they. I would say he. In my mind, it's he got. Okay, let's like this, right? You in the other room among my sister. I hear a gunshot go off. I come out and you like call the police and tell them to say what I say. I tell you, because he look like he
I got that gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got that gun to your head, nigga. Better handle it like I told you.
I think it was like that he was making him say what he say. It's either that or he was a faggot and they killed the sister. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So who was on the phone? That the Crip dude wasn't on the phone. The Crip dude was telling the dude on the phone what to say.
Yeah, he was the one that the Crip dude was in the background saying, "Babe, and then the operator is trying to get clarity from the dude that's on the phone. Like, wait, who shot you? And then the dude says, "My wife." You know what I'm saying? So you play it back now.
All right.
I want to make sure we all on the same page, because I got confused the first time.
Want me to go back?
White, black, Hispanic?
Okay, just to the beginning of that call.
They had masks on. I can't say.
Okay.
See, if you want to say it's 2 different people.
It's a gunshot wound. It's a gunshot wound.
Where?
We had an intruder. We had an intruder.
Is that a house?
See, he's repeating what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's not even excited about it.
I'm saying he got a gun to his head, and that brother is shocked, and he's scared that this nigga gonna knock his head off too.
Yeah.
It's a gunshot wound. We had an intruder.
I got that.
He just want to get the police there so he can shoot them and go out.
My wife.
I get what you're saying now. Because he ain't got the heart to take his own life. He said, fuck it.
Okay, how many were there?
It was 3 of them.
Did you see the race, white, black, Hispanic?
Look,
they had masks on. I can't say.
Okay, what kind of, did they all have weapons?
Yes, they are. Baby.
When did they leave?
Don't wake up.
is it me or is it real low?
Wake up.
Is it real low?
With a huge task at hand, patrol officers responded to the scene where they initially thought they were attending an address with 3 complete innocent bystanders. For 2 of them, that was the case, but it would only take 1 to put multiple lives in danger, even that of an infant child.
And you can pause it when you see him.
Yeah.
Who's all in the house? Who's all in the house?
All right there.
That's Morris Jones. For
What you noticed about this, sister?
Let me see. So I see something in his hands. I don't know why I feel like it's a pocketbook or something, but
yeah,
it's a Newport light.
It's a Newport
no,
light.
it's a Newport. You can see it's a Newport.
Mm.
If you look at the way that he's holding it, you can tell it's a Newport. So you telling me?
Okay, I can see it now.
You see it? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm definitely right. I'm born. You telling me when I apply for the Crips in Arizona, this is how I got to look? I'm just saying I'm Muslim, but I you know.
And I'm not going front like his shirt off.
He probably high as hell because he's sweating.
Man, he got that rectyard pose. That's that rectyard pose.
Yeah.
He about to lift the whole yard.
Yeah, yeah. With eating a bunch of potatoes and shit, a lot of bread, so you can swell up.
You know what his nickname is? Head and
What's
shoulders.
that?
Head and shoulders.
You know what I was about to say? I was gonna say half a body.
He look like he about to dance.
Our people funny as hell. We turn everything into jokes.
Pop lock and shit, huh?
Our people love satire, bro.
That's the female bodybuilders. That's they pose right there.
Oh God.
All right, y'all. Let's get back to this.
I was about to roast his pants. Nigga, like
still unknown. He had shot his girlfriend Shatifa that morning just prior to police arriving, and had baited police to attend the address so he could go all out and potentially kill police officers in the process. The only context we have to try and build a picture
he put mad deodorant on.
is that although we don't know specifically why Morris decided to turn the gun on Shatifa, we do know that they had an argument the night before.
I'm tripping
Morris
off
had
it. He
hit
ain't got
her
no
while
neck.
she was holding their 1-month-old daughter. And fast forwarding to the morning in question, they had an argument about something, but it's not clear what that dispute was about.
The cop all of that.
Hell yeah.
Y'all funny as hell.
The bullets is hot, I'll tell you.
Yes, they are.
I've been shot. 999.
Officer distress.
Due to a 30-second buffer,
shot 999.
No audio is available for this portion of the video.
him
The
down.
police
Real.
reports say
Him
that when
distress.
backup arrived on the scene, just as the first officer was hit, Morris was shot by police officers as he was closing his door. And from what police believed was a distress call for help, had now turned into a potential hostage situation with a 1-month-old child inside the property.
Damn.
Coward.
Straight coward, yo.
I wonder what she told him. Like, that's why you ain't got no neck.
I got you. West side.
This is the last time you're gonna tell me that shit. Say it again.
Say it again. And I can't see you smoking that square. I can't see you inhale with your neck missing.
He said he look like he talk like this. He made them wait out there all night. He's shooting at the helicopters and everything, bro. Watch this shit. Can I tell you something, man? I think they should. There's 2 things you should make people get a mental evaluation for: having babies and buying and guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Because right now I am thinking to myself, like, he was waiting for this female to come. This would seem a little premeditated because, like, why he want to shoot out with the police for?
One who made the call.
Because he wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. He probably killed the girl. I'm gonna tell you how it went. Right. This is what happened. He said, "Nigga, you smoking them the Winstons and you blowing it on top of the baby head. You gotta go outside with that shit." He's like, yo, bitch, I'm tired of you. You ain't gonna be calling me all type of bitches and all that. Yo, can y'all keep it down in there? Damn. You know what I mean? That's the brother, right? So it's like, look, you got my brother all up in the middle of our shit. Just go ahead, go out, take the cigarette outside. I don't want you blowing smoke on top of, you know what I'm saying, little Tyrone Head the third. All right, bitch, whatever. All right, that's the last time you gonna call me bitch. Head and shoulders. Ooh, bitch, I'll tell you when I call me head and shoulders. Head and shoulders, head and shoulders, head and shoulders, head, nose, knees, and toes.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again. Keep playing, but what you gonna do with that gun? You gonna shoot me or something now, nigga? Stop playing on me. Oh my God.
Hoover.
Wake up, baby. Wake up. Brother running the room. Yo, what the fuck going on? Yo, the fucking gun went off. Oh shit. They gonna bury me. I can't go back to jail. I can't go back to jail. You know what I'm saying? That's what you worried about. Right?
Yeah, I can't go back to jail.
Yo, call the police. Just call them. Just call them. You know what I'm saying? Tell them what I tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go in the back room with the baby, just in case they start shooting. Feel me? As soon as he felt that first hot bullet, he was like, Tito. Ran in the house. That's what happened. And it was a Newport Light. My
Damn.
You said it was a Newport Light.
All right, yeah, cool. Let's get to it.
Why you blowing them Winstons on little Winston?
Emerged from the property with the baby in hand. Police at that moment didn't know his involvement. As a quick side note, he wasn't involved in anything. He was innocent. But given the circumstances, they treated him as a suspect as no communication had been set up between the house and any police units outside. A local cameraman picked up what happened next.
He's got a baby.
We still don't know if it was domestic violence. It might have just been an accident.
Yeah, like where they went wrong was the 3 intruders. They should have just been like, man, it was an accident. But then he a felon, so he ain't even supposed to probably be around on there. You can look and tell he a felon.
If Phoenix, Arizona, everybody can have. It's legal for everybody to carry Phoenix. Arizona, Wild West.
I'm thinking, what do Snoop Dogg think about this type of shit?
Is that him putting the baby outside?
That's a brother. Put the baby down.
Put the baby down and the baby back. He got formula up in there, diapers. Walk backwards towards us, nigga.
His hands is in the air.
Pull your pants up.
Do not pull your pants up. You're going to get shot.
If I was police, I'd have kicked him in his ass. First thing I'd have did.
Now, this is the brother that was in the house.
It's the brother. Yeah. His sister dead in the house.
Yeah, to me, I think his brother's on some sucker shit. You know what? Maybe she might have walked in and found them 2 in there.
2 homos.
Yeah.
So where is the gay vibes inspired from?
Damon and Dada.
What you say, the gay vibes?
Yeah, where the gay vibes? Where is that, like, where that's coming from? That inspiration of them being gay?
Because the fact is, your brother, you didn't react to your brother. I mean, your brother killed. I mean, the dude killed your sister. I mean, I guess anybody else would have reacted different. And I ain't gonna just be calm sitting up in there. We all would have been dead in that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what
kill her because she gonna, a woman, she gonna go tell your business after that.
Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. Like, for you to do that, and then all of a sudden he come out, he calm, he ain't going off, man. You can't just do it. You shot my sister. Come on, man.
I say he ain't even sound excited on the phone with the police, like with 911. Very nonchalant.
Well, that right there is the reason why I can see what you're saying. Because I mean, like, if you gotta go further down the rabbit hole, well, let's say his fake Crip ass, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Something happened between the brother and him, and then I just don't. I can't see it being. I can't see it being nothing else except for this nigga putting a gun to his head or telling him it's a mistake, or he's coaching him on the phone because why he didn't kill the brother. This is why. That's why he didn't smoke the brother ass. I can see you not killing your baby, but the brother, you didn't kill the brother. And why wouldn't the brother's first reaction to be to try to kill this nigga? I would have
That's
died.
what I'm saying. Not to
I
get
would
on
have
the phone and be like, we had 3 intruders. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Like, nigga, what the fuck is you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if you broke my sister, nigga, I'm fine. I'm not even gonna have time to think. You're gonna automatically kill me. Because I'm coming for you.
Over the gun, somebody's gonna get
See,
shot.
Fresh 1000.
I don't
Salute.
want to
Salute.
hear that.
Fresh
It was a
Fresh 1000.
mistake. I don't want to hear none of that shit. You made a mistake, nigga. I'm lunging at you with a knife. I'm throwing knives at you before I get next to you. All that, bro. Straight
Yeah,
up.
that's crazy. I wouldn't have been that calm. I understand, but nigga, you ain't no what they call him, a negotiator. You ain't no negotiator. How was he able to let you say go ahead and grab the bag, grab the baby for him, and then go and take the baby out?
What else? What else they got there, boy?
Let's see. Hold on.
Were hit during the shooting, and several more were hit by bullet fragments. Shatifa's brother was hit too.
Oh, he got shot.
Oh, he got shot too. Yeah.
Hey, come with me. Baby. Door. I got the baby.
Lucky they shoot baby.
Like, they gonna just start shooting when they come up to get the child?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Damn.
That's what I'll tell you.
She said I got the baby. I'm shot. He's that he shoot everybody, ain't he?
Yes.
All right, move.
They probably shooting his own self.
A special armed unit arrived at the scene.
That's weird.
Shortly after,
Because
I just want to know, did he make it out alive or did he get killed?
We gotta go back a little bit.
We got
boy, you gotta bring it back a little bit, bro. Right there.
Officers were hit during the shooting, and several more were hit by bullet fragments. Shatifa's brother was hit too.
What's his nigga name?
Hey, come with me. Baby.
Head and shoulders.
Door. I got the baby.
What is they on the video?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
Just wasting bullets and shit.
Oh yeah, taxpayer money. That's where it's going right there.
Straight bullets flying everywhere. Could be going everybody out.
Black to the PZ, Mob Gemini Twizzing.
A special armed unit
Morris Jones.
and shortly after, Morris opened fire.
And that's why they need ex-Navy people in the military to be police officers nowadays.
The baby still needed to be recovered, however, as she was laying between a potential gunfight. So the special armed unit came up with a plan using armored vehicles and shields to get her to safety. After the baby was recovered by officers, shots were fired into their armored vehicle, causing damage to a wheel.
Damn. What kind of gun he had?
That's what I was about to say. What kind of gun?
That's what I'm saying. All them bullets, yo, we had a switch.
Yeah, he got a switch on his.
And
the baby, man. Oh man.
What do you got?
Nigga like Rambo in there.
Like Rambo.
In the end,
Word up.
various negotiations were made between officers.
Like how many rounds, bro? Like
hold on.
Received no response. They eventually entered the property, and Morris was found deceased with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. In total, 2 people.
Sucker ass nigga.
This nigga shot himself.
And he shot 9
people by bullets or bullet
he shot 9
fragments,
people.
And Shatifa's brother had also been hit.
He was 36 years old.
Wow.
Yo, check this out, man.
It says
all right, hold on.
Let me read it this. It says authorities determined Morris Richard Jones shot and killed himself after fatally shooting his former girlfriend, Shatifa Lobley. The wounded 9 police officers Friday morning. Police confirmed, right? An autopsy from the county medical examiner determined the 36 years old Jones died of injuries from shooting himself, even though he was also shot by police during the incident, according to the department spokesman. All of the injured officers they're good.
All right.
Damn.
Now, I'm saying this. I'm sure this will show you. This is what happened when you go through domestic shit, and I don't give you a blood, you're a Crip, you're a GD, you're a Latin King, you God, you Muslim. You always have the police involved so you can cover yourself. Because we don't know what happened, we don't know how it happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just men that's doing this. Hold on, I got another one to show you real quick, man. Before we
You
get
know
on the
what?
topic, show.
And you know what, Born? And the thing about it is we don't have the lack of knowledge of understanding. We always got this portrayal that the police, we call the police, we snitch. And no, nigga, you protecting yourself from your livelihood.
Oh, hell yeah.
This fair use. This fair use. Check this out. Check this out. Fair use. Fair use.
Young woman very long before he decided he needed to break it off.
Well, Detroit police say that woman is responsible for using her car as a deadly weapon in his murder. And it was all caught on surveillance video.
7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig has been talking to the victim's family. And Kim, that surveillance video, kind of hard to look at. I checked it out this morning. Yeah. But it seems to point to clear intent.
Absolutely, without a doubt, that this driver was gunning for Terrence Ricks Jr. You'll see him running down the sidewalk here as he's being chased by a car, and behind the wheel, now charged with first-degree murder.
My son didn't deserve to die this way. My son's supposed to be burying me, not me burying him.
What happened to 25-year-old Terrence Ricks Jr. is horrifying, and Detroit police say this woman, 20-year-old Denisha Mathis, is responsible for killing him. Her weapon, this car, as young Terrence ran for his life.
She couldn't take the breakup because prior to that day, I heard him on the phone telling someone, I don't know if it was her, don't call my phone no more and don't text me no more.
I know she's just been coming to the house. She will pull in the driveway and she'll say hi, but other than that, no.
Mr. and Mrs. Ricks say their son had only been dating Denisha for no more than a month, and it seemed he wanted to break up, but not Denisha, who came by the house last week Tuesday.
She was in front of my house arguing with my son. I came outside and told my son, I said, leave her alone. Come on in the house, man.
And about 15 minutes later, Mr. Ricks says his son left to go to the store to get some cigarettes, perhaps not realizing Denisha was still around.
She was still in the neighborhood stalking him, and seeing him up there on 7 Mile.
It's unclear if the two started arguing again, but what is clear is the evil that is behind the wheel. As investigators say, Denisha Mathis drove her car down 7 Mile, looped around in the parking lot as Terrence desperately tried to get away, but there was nowhere for him to hide, and the father of two was hit and killed, perhaps because he was a man Denisha Mathis couldn't have.
I just want to know why.
Damn.
I want to know why.
Father too.
And Terrence Ricks Jr. was killed over a week ago, but his family can.
All right, now check this out. We all talking about a man shouldn't get a restraining order against a woman. That's not gangster. That's not G. No matter what position you're in, if you're being stalked and you could probably be killed by this woman. Why wouldn't you get or you could probably kill her to protect yourself? Why wouldn't you get a restraining order to cover your ass?
Right.
I agree. I agree.
Well, that goes back to that goes back to what what the dad said. The dad, even though he was trying to do right then and there, he should have said, son, let's call the police and get the police involved. Because it's already done got out of control. You ain't been dating this motherfucker, dog. Ain't that much love in the world. Nigga, he ain't been dating her but a month. He probably smashed her maybe 4-5 times in that month. And now she tripping. She tweeting. She done got mad. She don't want to be rejected. He probably was still out there doing her thing. He probably told her they was just kicking it. And she like, nah, nigga. No, you mine now.
Weird.
All right. We're gonna segue. We're gonna hold up. It's another one which I see. I'm going through clips so we can see it. Then we'll talk about everything. You dig what I'm saying? I want everybody to
salute to everybody on the panel too. Black to the P. Salute.
Peace and love.
All right. Domestic violence right here. Survivor. It's only a 3-minute clip. But check it out. It's fair use.
Hello, I'm Kiara Kelly, and you're watching The Conversation. And to continue our discussion on domestic violence, I'm joined by Cheryl Hatwood, who is the owner of Endless Voice Production. Just to get right into it, can you talk to me a little bit about how you became an advocate for domestic violence victims?
Well, it all started based on my own experience. And I decided that after I was able to address my pain, that the proper thing is to try and help someone else. So what I did, I implemented my production to introduce domestic violence. And then from there, I've been doing fundraisers and Women's Worth Awards to acknowledge women who've been emboldened by their past to help someone else.
The media does a terrible job at empowering women who have gone through this. Can you talk a little bit about what you have viewed the media, how they treat domestic violence victims?
Well, I find that it's still a little taboo and it's kind of shunned as well. Let me go off the media first and my own personal experience from when I was trying to acquire sponsors and donations for the fundraiser. Most of the women-owned business embraced me, but the men were like, I got nothing to donate. It was really, and that's when I really noticed that there's a conversation that needs to continue because it's still pushed under the rug. Now for the media, I think the media just exemplifies what society is doing.
Absolutely. It's an interesting point that you brought up, that when you were trying to get like sponsors and help, that the men seem to be more resistance culturally for Black people. Why do you think that's a thing that it's hard to get them to be allies in this fight?
I think it's historical because there's a lot of pain that we've had to shun. And I think that we don't identify our pain, or it comes out in different manners. We as a community have never been open to talk about
shit. Hold on for 1 second, bro.
Have hurt us individually. Statistics are 60% of Black women before their age.
Hey, what's up?
I just stepped off for a second and I was just listening. I thought this was a white woman. My bad. If you close your eyes and just listen, it sounds like
Age 18 have experienced some kind of assault. And that's a high percent, and 20% of men.
Can you talk about warning signs that women should look out for if they're not sure if they are being abused or if there's domestic violence in their household?
Some of the signs include it's usually control and jealousy. And it starts off, for me, it started off as, the control aspect made it feel like I was the attention. I was the center of his attention. But the more that he controlled me, the smaller my circle got. I was cut off from my friends and the family. And when your own will is not exercised and it's always his, that's a sign. As soon as he puts his hand on you, it just progresses into more and more and more.
For anyone who may be surrounding the woman and watching this happen, what advice would you give to them?
Always be a circle of support. You cannot force someone to do something they're not prepared to do. They have to come to an onus on themselves and realize that this is not the life that they wanted, or this is not the life that is meant for.
Mecca, good morning, baby girl.
The victim has to come to a self-examination. You can look at your friend and say, don't do this, you gotta leave, and she'll come back. She'll continue to stay in the situation. Don't be mad at her. There's a psychology attached to it, because once you start demeaning a person, they start to believe it. And I believe that I deserve less. I believe that I deserved the treatment I was given. And it took years of development. And it's still, I'm not completely healed. Every day is a healing process. Every time I talk about it, it's a healing process.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. And thank you all for watching the conversation. And make sure
Peace to
God's and next to the universe.
Peace to the God. Peace, God.
Peace,
John,
peace.
I want you to
Peace, John.
Peace, John. I want you to see what I just
she sound like
about this Crip.
She sound like an old freaky white joint named Mildred.
If you think about it, if you just go to the backyard and you
Yeah, I know you did, but it said he got working in it. It's not like he
stolen vehicle charge. Shortly after he.
Yo, Ja, I want you to see this real quick, Ja. But before we go on, before we start, I want to say one thing. It doesn't matter what you are, who you are, or what you do. If you feel like you're a victim of domestic violence, you are to go to the law and get a restraining order to protect your life and to protect what you might do. I don't care if you're a blood, you're a Crip, you're a Latin King, you're a Nieta, you Muslim, you guy, whoever you are. First and foremost, you're a man or you're a woman. You got to protect yourself. You go to the law. I don't care what nobody said. All these white people, you go to the law, you're a rat. Nah, you ain't a rat. You're a smart man. You're saving your life either from death or prison.
You dumb as fuck. You dumb as fuck if you don't go get an order. I got 2 order protectors on my baby mama. You trying to put cases on me? You trying to put me under the jail? It was either I do that or something. So you know what I'm saying? I go to jail. I ain't going to jail.
Facts. But
now, I mean, she ain't go to jail. I ain't had to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't had to go there, but there's some women out here that would stalk you and want to see you down. You know, there's some good women out here too, but there's some trifling bitches out here.
That's a root problem in culture, our culture specifically. When we deal with the other dynamic of domestic violence, we got domestic violence from our oppressor. When we got here, we weren't men that physically aggressed or penalized or chastised our women. We had cultural harmonic accord. So we didn't have to go through the physicality of dealing with our women. The white man, he comes from an environment where there's 11 men to every woman born. We come from an environment where there's 9 women to every man born. So we don't come from that culture of physically aggressing our woman. We got that from being oppressed by the oppressor. And transposively, the woman got the same activity. If you notice domestic violence, you find just as much of women aggressing men as you find men oppressing women. So that's in our community. In the white community, we know it's prevalent that the man is the abuser or the physical aggressor of the woman because we wear undershirts called A shirts, which is really called wife beaters. So we look at the cultural aspect of it, having a keen knowledge of self and communal responsibility. When I was young, the man that was abusive to his woman was shunned when he came outside. And we all knew that there was only one problem. If she left him, there was nothing he could do because everybody would make him food. He's a weak man when he aggress a woman and never aggress a man. And that's what we got in our communities. And that's been bred, it's been cultivated, it's become a part of us because of our condition. So when we look at it, like that brother that suiting up the family with the baby in the crib, come on, bro. How you supposed to come outside tomorrow? See?
Yeah, he got
you already knew before. Yeah, you already knew before you did anything like that. However, sometimes we allow it to get away and we call the other man to deal with it. When in reality, the conflict and the attitude between those people was supposed to be handled by someone responsible. That brother that was in the crib, if you wasn't man enough, if you wasn't so-called street enough to handle it, bro, you're supposed to say something to somebody that is. See, that's called being accountable, being responsible. So you be proactive to prevent these type of scenarios from happening in our community. And until we do that in a national activity, bro, everything we do in a national activity is negativity.
What if it was like an accident?
Ain't no accident. Because ain't no playing with no guns. All of us in the street know that. When you load a gun, bro, and you put that hand on that damn handle, and you put that finger on that trigger guard or that trigger, you know what comes out of this causes death before you even do it. Yeah. See, when you pick a gun up, you already know. Even when you at the range, when you at the gun range, your brain is so keen to safety because you know you're dealing with death. It's a weapon, and it could be used for a variance of things, but it only got one purpose. And the gun, the only purpose of a gun, ain't not like a knife. A knife can be modified into a weapon, many uses. A gun got one purpose, firing a projectile to end the life of whatever its intended target is. So that's what we know when we deal with a gun. So he had it. It wasn't no mistakes. All that playing with a gun and stuff, man, look. Not where I come from, and not where y'all come from, because we already know guns is death. His ass was in the house either trying to intimidate, or trying to exercise a situation in which he failed to take accountability for. So whatever was going on between the three of them in that incident, those two men had a problem. Ain't no way in hell you gonna shoot and kill my sister, nigga, and I'm gonna live. Not in front of me in the house. You out of your mind. Word up.
That's what we just talking about.
The baby that was in the house will never live to say that his or her uncle was the man that walked out of the house while he killed my mother.
Yep.
You never live to say that. See? And not to mention this. You killed my sister, I'm doing everything to kill you, bro. Everything. Now, even if I gotta deal with the horror of my sister in grief until I can catch you in an unsuspecting moment. Because if you don't shoot me right away, I already know there's an activity of confusion going on. Whether you did it by mistake or with intent, nigga, you gotta pay with your life. Period. That's the law. See, now ask somebody white and watch what they tell you.
I mean, I said the exact same thing, bro. I said the exact same thing. I mean, that I put myself in a situation. I had a banger go off in my crib, and I know it's only you and my sister in the room. If my sister's not here, my nigga, it's like you don't. There's not. There's no even. You don't even have to think.
Right.
Yeah, you don't get to come out. You don't get to show me nothing. You don't even get to come out of that room. When that gunshot go off, you already suspecting when you get to the door. It's either him or her.
Yeah.
Period. And you already know your first priority is her. So if she not coming out of the door, it's nothing to be talked about or said. And if I don't got a gun in the house, I'm meeting you at the door with a knife. Because at least in that close quarter combat, you might get them shots off, but I'm gonna get my hits off. My hits is gonna be just as deadly as your shots.
That's why I said he pulled out on them and was like, "Yo, call the police and tell them what I said."
All right, we could do that right now. Because self-preservation is the first law of nature. However, in the interim, you best believe you're done. There's nothing you can do, and I'm promising you, bro. If I live through this, everything that you ever loved gonna die. So we're gonna think about all of this right here, because that's the law of war.
Wow.
See, I'm gonna put that right on your brain, nigga.
Yeah.
See?
Well, and then let's
we
be honest
ain't
too.
dealing with that influence, though, bro. We ain't dealing with that influence.
Right, and they've been, and here's the brother. You already know he heard a lot more arguments going on where he should have been like, "Hey, bro, you ain't finna be arguing." I wouldn't even been living there because you are obviously that was a toxic relationship. You got a baby there, and then you in there, you goddamn arguing. So therefore, the brother didn't, to me, as the uncle or as the brother, didn't even play his part. Like, bro, you ain't finna do that in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't saying that, so you let it get to that point where niggas pull, because you know that's when everything is off. No rules imply. When a nigga pull a gun on a female, he in the house yelling, or he pull a knife.
That's not his first time pulling that gun out like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But guess what? The brother, he homeless. See? That's why he there.
That's
homeless.
right. Well, both of them niggas homeless. Both of them niggas ain't had nowhere to go. That's what. Yeah, they both was homeless.
Brother homeless. That's why, bro.
And you know something? Let's say this: women need to be careful for who they laying down with and who they bringing in the house around their children.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's best just to be independent and matriarchal and handle your own affairs as a woman than to let toxic masculine energy into the home, because it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't flow well.
You're never supposed to be alone when you're a woman with a child. That's not your position to play. The
brother,
man that
just like her brother was there, in a matriarchal society, it's the uncles, the brothers, the fathers that act as the male role model for the children. And she had her brother there. So she wasn't alone.
No. The man that she chose to have the child with. See, that's the first act of responsibility in our community, mating properly. See, we have children with people that we don't mate with, we don't match with. And that's our problem. So it's the source. When you're a father and a mother, there's a balance. So there is no matriarchal responsibility outside of being the partner in a parental venture with another person that you chose to match with as a mate. That's where we culturally fail at. So then we get these scenarios of death and decadence. But now we got to address the root responsibility of it, as I first addressed the root cause of why we have this mentality of domestic violence amongst ourselves. We have to be responsible and then be held accountable. And that's our problem. We have to do that first. Then we're good. Solve a whole lot of problems doing that. Just like a child being accountable and responsible to its instructions that its parent give it. When that child is responsible, it's not held accountable in a negative concept. It's being rewarded for being obedient. And that's the success. And when you groom that in children, they become adults functioning up under that same culture and condition rather than what we're dealing with. That's why the man, the adult, is always
Hello? What happened to Jack?
Might have froze.
He might have froze up, you said, right?
Hello,
y'all hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Jack.
I'm on the line with my brother.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, yo. All right, let me ask Shaq now. Now we're gonna what you want to say about this? Tell your story, bro. And I'm gonna tell my story. And we're gonna bring all this to around, you know what I mean?
I told you I had a stalk ass baby mama. My baby mom was trying to put me in jail. I was on parole. She was making false reports on me. I went to Cali to go see this chick. And she found out about it. You know what I'm saying? And she went crazy. The bitch, you know what I mean, for like 2 years, tried to put me under jail.
Did she try to tell your PO that you was out in Cali too?
She told my PO. She implicated me in the case and all type of shit.
Damn. Yeah, she wanted you off. She was so hurt. She wanted you off the map.
Yeah, I went to jail. And when I came out, my PO, the first thing my PO told me that you got to get an order of protection on her. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Smart.
Yeah, that was that. You know what though? It was smart for 2 reasons, right? It showed her that I wasn't playing. I'm not going back and fucking you, and because we went through that. We went through the back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Even if after order protections and everything, and we went to court for my son and everything, right? We went to court for domestic, for child support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ended up going to court for child support, and she was taking me to court for child support, but then we kind of like re-sparked our relationship.
Right.
She just dropped it right then. She was like, let's go get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? And from there, she never came for me for child support. It was just about my relationship with her. She just, you know what I'm saying? And even though I never fucked her again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We end up having respect for each other because I had to do what I had to do as a man. And dudes be surprised. When you initiate the paperwork, the courts be on your side a lot of times. When they be like, yo, the courts is against the man, that might be true a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it might be a little.
Do you think the reason why the courts be against us is because, again, we don't jump the broom and go ahead and handle our business. So therefore they're saying, okay, you're just up here to protect your ass versus you didn't protect it from the get-go.
Facts. That's exactly
okay. Gotcha.
I want to say something. Me and my first wife, we was married and shit, right? And one day I came in the house. I do security and a bodyguard, so I came in the house a little bit late. I came in the house like 6 in the morning because I was coming from fucking what was it? North Carolina. Some part of North Carolina. I forgot what part it was. Raleigh. Come from Raleigh, North Carolina. So it's a ride. You know what I'm saying? To get to not Roanoke, Virginia, but Blacksburg, Virginia, right where Virginia Tech is.
Yeah.
So we got in an argument that night, right? So the next day, she went through. She had my passports, all my shit. 'Cause I don't keep my wife. I don't know nothing to hide. Yo, she went in. An ex chick hit me on MySpace. This is how far we went MySpace now, right?
Yeah.
Ex chick hit me on MySpace, and she's like, "Yo, here go my number. I see you married now. I'm happy for you, but if she don't appreciate you, I ignored her. I still had a number on my phone for years. You know, back then, you keep numbers on your cell phone for years. You don't think about that shit. I already had a number, so I didn't use it. She's like, who is this bitch? I'm like, what? It's like, who's this number? I'm like, I don't know what number you're talking about. Let me look and see if I got it in my phone. So I seen that, like, oh, that's my ex from back, you know what I'm saying, while I was in North Carolina or whatever. And she was like, why that bitch? And she started flipping. Yo, she punched me in the face. Threw my phone against the wall. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo. So I'm like, yo. So I said, hold up. You want me to call shit? Tell you when I don't got nothing going with it. It's some old shit. This I knew for years. You know what I'm saying? She's like, no. I said, yeah, call her. So I called her. I put her on speakerphone, whatever. I said, you got that bitch all in our business. I'm like, what? You told me to call her. Yo, she flipping out. I leave the house, right? I left. I'm like, you know what? I'm out. I leave the house. And see, I'm the general manager at this college club. So I just go to the club. I go into the back room. We got a bed, everything, but I go back to that sleep. You know what I'm saying? Sleep that night. So we got through that. I should have left that ass right then and there. But I like, you know what I'm saying? No, we got a son. We married. We gonna work this shit out. Yo, this had to be like, but I told her, the next time you put your hands on me, I'm gonna show you why they call me one time. You know what I'm saying? You know, and she was like, "Oh, I will never do it again." So some Facebook shit. Now this years later, a couple of years later, some chick on Facebook, she commented on my pictures like, "Sexy chocolate," that I could have a suit or whatever, and she flipped on me. I'm like, "Yo, how you get mad at me because somebody compliment me on my page? I don't say no when you have people you will compliment you and shit." She swung at me, and my reaction as a fighter at the time, I whopped, and then I came up with the left, but before I hit her with a punch, I just smacked the shit out, boom, and slid her down the wall. And I was like, you know what, I'm out of here. I can't do this. I can't do this no more. She's like, no, don't go. No. She's like, don't leave. We going through that shit. So then she tried to hit me again. And I was like, I ain't gonna put my hands on it. I called the police. I called the police. The Christiansburg Police Department came to my house, right? I called them. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get at the house. She won't let me leave. She's trying to fight me, and I want to put my hands on her. I just want to leave the house. They came there. They ran a background check on me. They took her in the back room, questioning her, but they got me with all these police around me, interrogate me like I'm the one that was beating on, trying to beat on her. I said, all they want to do is leave the house. Yo, the motherfucker was like, oh yeah, you an ex-felon in Jersey. You was down with the E-Port Posse. I never was down with the E-Port Posse. It was my family. You know what I'm saying? I was too young to be down with the E-Port Posse. What's wrong with y'all? It was like, oh, you had robberies, drugs, shootings, all this. I'm like, that was back in the 90s. Why y'all talking about this?
She dropped all that. She dropped everything. She's something like a jailbird.
Yeah. No, but I'm something like, yo. So they wanted to lock me up, but her father came and was like, no, he called. Her father was like, she won't let him leave because her mother her mother's like, just get out the house. I'm like, yo, check this out. I bought this house. I ain't going nowhere. I'm leaving because I want to leave, so I won't do nothing. So her father's like, come on, let's go. He put me in the car, took me to have drinks. We went to have some drinks and shit. After that happened, her father was like, you see why I don't deal with her? She disrespectful like that. She disrespect me to the utmost last year. Cursed me all out, and I took care of her all her fucking life, and I'm still taking care of her with you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. He was like, yo, he's like, I don't want to tell you to leave my daughter. He's like, but yo, you gotta do what's best for you. So I left her.
So your father-in-law was telling you she ain't for you.
Yeah.
Damn.
He said, yo, it makes it so bad. You'll think this one was perfect. 3 degrees, intelligent as hell, beautiful. Worked out together. We did martial arts training together. We boxed together. We did all that shit. You know what I'm saying? She was a MMA fighter.
The baddest ones are the easiest ones.
I know, bro. But yo, and it was so crazy. Like, even right now to this day, my son be sneaking talking to me. And he's 12 years old. I'm like, bro, you don't gotta sneak and talk to me.
Nah.
Like, my mom get mad. She said we betraying her for you talking about her, talking about him, her older son. Since her older sons, I raised them. So they still call me a pops. So they get in contact with me, talk to me. That's how I started getting in contact with my son from my oldest stepson. And he was like, yo, you was a good man. She said, mom did that shit to all our fathers.
Damn.
And, yeah, she did that because I was married to her, you know what I'm saying? She had 2 other kids before me. And she was trying to keep them from their kids. But see, me being the man I am, what I would do is, with the father's call, I'd be like, yo, check this out. Call my phone. You want to talk to your sons. You want to see them? We can meet at a bowling alley. Chuck E. Cheese, whatever. I bring them there. I can chill with them. And that's why I did that. So no, I mean that's how I roll. I don't believe in that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't keep a man for their son. And any woman that got a man that don't check his woman or his wife about keeping her son from the father is a soft beta male pussy.
Say it one more time.
Any man. What's up?
I want to ask you a question. I know it's just a question because I really don't know. Being gang related stop you? Does that stop you from doing the right thing? Like if you're in a certain situation, and because you're gang related, you know the right thing would be to do this, but because you gang related and that go against, I guess, the culture.
You know what I thought about P? Not to cut your wisdom, but I do believe like we got like okay. If you gangs got their own rules, they got their own shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So some things that's like just like with Islam. Let me talk about Muslims, right? Some things might seem like it's common. It should be common sense for Muslims. Like for instance, reading somebody.
Somebody got turn the YouTube off. It's whoever just mute your mic.
Hello?
Yeah, Islam. We you might see it right to read from left to right, right? But for us, we see it reading from right to left as the right way.
That's
right.
A fact.
But see, like the outside, you know, it looks like it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But to us, they might have rules that's like that where you can't put your name on no piece of paper, even if it makes sense for you. Even if it doesn't violate so-called street code, it might violate gang code. That's the only thing I can think of, P.
So that mean like if the right thing to do, you know, because in any situation, male or female, if you're being abused in your relationship, the right thing to do would be to go get a protection order so you can protect yourself. And you know what I'm saying?
This is like telling fuck a woman that you just met, you know what I'm saying? But don't use a condom. All right?
Right.
You feel where I'm coming from? Do you see the correlation? It's
Yeah,
like, okay, you're gonna hurt yourself potentially, you know what I'm saying? But don't do it because this is our rules.
So not even women that's involved in gang politics, if they getting the shit beat out them by their significant other, they just supposed to take that
or go to the gang.
Well, one, it depends on, like, say, for instance, they're all in this culture again, right? That's what's so fucked up. It's the same thing he's saying. Like, on the flip side, right? The culture has some, like, in the gang culture, there's certain militant things. You have to do certain things to get certain knowledge, which they should use that as a positive thing in order to build. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, some of these gangs, they know how to orchestrate, but they use it for the wrong purpose. Because again, let's say for instance, Crip supposed to be community revolutionary in progress. Well, if it's in progress, who will you revolutionize against? So that's where the lack of not understanding these young folks just want to put it in, like versus back in the days, or like the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers, we learned a lot from them from being militant. Our problem is we ain't militant. We too damn forgiving. We too empathetic to other people. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on. Like you said, this domestic violence, but motherfuckers want to sit around and talk about Chi-Town and want to talk about what's going on within the grassroots level. Man, we have a very bad problem dealing with our peoples, and especially like Josh said, being unapologetic Black men, we apologize too much for the shit, and we let shit slide. You know, like you said, like you was just saying, Paul, you saying like at the end of the day, like think about it. Like nigga got his pants down, the nigga already jail bait. He come out of jail, he ain't got shit to offer. And then again, that woman, like that one kid that guy got ran over. They fall in love because they're either lacking thereof, and that's where you need to ask them. That's why they always say, do you got a mom and a daddy, or you just live with your mama? Because sometimes that's a big problem, you know, growing up, not having, like you said,
all the time. I mean, pimps specifically go for young women that don't got fathers. Ironic,
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like once they know you got a father, your father got some influence in your life. A lot of pimps get turned off automatically.
They get turned off. Facts.
Because they know that you.
All right, hold up, y'all. Hold up, y'all. We got 2 ladies in. Let's let these 2 ladies speak on after y'all go. We got officially Maya TV, and we got Spike and the Mother Star.
Man,
y'all ladies, please, Queens.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Salute.
That's you.
So, what's your opinion on it?
Well, I just got in, and I'm reading the caption, Black men in domestic violence problem. Well, I'm going to start off saying this. I'm 26 years old, okay? I'm a single mother. Now, one thing I'm not tolerating is a man putting his hands on me. I'm not tolerating that. I'm not going to forgive a man for hurting me. That's something I'm just not tolerating. I'm not going to make up excuses for him. I'm not going to be like, oh, but he cared about me. Oh, this, oh, that. No, I think that is very important for women, especially young women. If you want to consider them Black, if you want to consider them, ethnic people of color, I don't know, whatever you want to consider them. I think it is very vital for us to protect ourselves from certain men, because let me tell you something. The other night, and this is a true story, the other night I went over to my cousin's house to pick up something from her. Okay. She had a situation, and it was domestic violence right in front of me. And, for me personally, I can't stand a part of that. I stayed with her to make sure that she was okay. And, she's still with her dude,
So question for you, I hate to cut you off. Question for you, Queen. When you told her you don't need this, what is usually the common excuse, or what does she kind of blanket it up for you not to look at him in a fucked up way? What was her excuse for that?
Well, I never said to her you should leave him or anything like that. I'm not that type of person, because at the end of the day, as women, as humans, we all need to learn and grow at our own speed. Although I'm here in my levels of understanding that this is not what I will tolerate from a man, you may not be. So
what was they arguing about that led to domestic violence?
Actually, they were arguing over the fact that it was over domestic violence, because she had did something to him and he had flinched. And I made a joke and I said, oh, let me find out y'all be having domestic violence. And he started going off. She started going off. And I was just like, okay, cool. I'm going to excuse myself. They were like, no, stay. Next thing you know, she's trying to walk me to the car, and he's slamming her against the wall, dragging her by her hair. All of this going on in front of me. And I'm saying to him, nigga, you need to calm down.
They probably had the best sex after that.
Let me ask you a question, Queen. Let me ask you a question, Queen. Say you got a younger.
Hold on one second. A speaker.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's your echo, Born.
Refresh. No, it's the speaker. Hold on, speaker. You gotta refresh it and come back in, because you echoing now. Are you going in through YouTube? All right. Yeah, that was hers. All right.
I wanted to ask any of the ladies on the panel. Say you got a younger brother, and he's in a abusive relationship, but he's the one that's being abused. Do you tell your brother to hit her back, become violent back with her, or do you tell him to separate himself from that situation and get a protective order?
Okay.
This way.
I'm sorry not to cut you off, but I would tell him this. First of all, it is never okay in any circumstance, for a man to put his hands on a woman. He should have enough sense and enough control to remove himself from
about the woman beating the man up.
Listen, I have a story about a woman beating a man.
Yeah, he should never put his hands on a woman. Never. He should remove himself from the situation or not.
Pardon me, sis. I believe the internal lesson, the eternal rule and lesson in any relationship between man and woman is that there is no physical activity of violence. None, period.
Right.
So a woman should have the discipline to conjure and conform her words to not incite such violence. A man should have the gumption and discipline to remove himself mentally from a situation instead of reacting emotionally to a situation. Our emotional reaction is a factor or an element that's been placed in us through that same conditioning that allow us to make irresponsible decisions in an activity of accountability. Instead of us arguing to the point that we get physical, the rule of love should supersede when you're interacting with a person intimately anyway. So the physical activity should also be denounced as a rule within your interaction, because if not, you'll allow these types of circumstances to arise, and then there's no one held accountable for your undisciplined act of destruction.
Right.
Once you hit a woman,
let me ask you a question, John.
Once you hit a woman, and once
question, John. One question. I'm asking you a question, John. If a woman is stalking a man, like they have that boy in Detroit when a woman was stalking him and she ran him down and killed him.
Get a restraint, get a restraining order, and then carry a loaded gun. Because the fact of the matter is this:
But that's not putting a restraining order on it. It's not necessarily dealing with the energy. We have to deal with the facts as to why the female is hitting on him. Why is he still staying? You understand what I'm saying? You can't just say
the man left. I'm talking about the man left. The man left.
What he asked me, the question that he asked me was what to do if I have a woman stalking me and hitting me. The answer is, first, I go legally, because that would be the first ramification that I would have to deal with if I was hitting her. So legally, let me protect myself. Then physically, let me protect myself. And then the chips may fall where they lay, because from that point on, I'm on the defensive. I'm DEFCON 3.
I agree with everything you're saying, but let's talk about the fact that, because I have companions that are in situations where women be busting their windows out, doing a bunch of, violence towards them, and it provokes them to choke a woman out. And I ain't going to front. Sometimes it's funny to me to deserve it. But they keep letting the female come back. When they want to have sex with this female, with the restraining order on and off, you'll let this female come back in and you'll have sex with her when it's convenient for you. And then you'll discard her again, which will make her irate.
So what? I want to share a quick experience. I myself was involved with someone, and that person is, top of the line, Don. Every man on the planet would want. However, she slapped me one time while she came in my home intoxicated and stuff. From that point on, I knew what it felt like for a woman to get hit by a man, because every time I heard her voice, every time I seen her, I wanted my hit back. And that's internal, and I never let it go, so I couldn't even be around that person no more. So that's what a man is. When you're dealing with a male isn't a man. And you're watching a lot of males hit women and be allowing women to hit them. A man is made a man by other men. Males are just adult boys. That's it. So when we're dealing with the mentality of the people we're speaking on, we got to register whether or not they're actually men. We use that word too broadly without identifying who's who. It's a difference between a female and a woman. It's a difference between a male and a man.
What she said about what type of energy is she getting that's making her want to hit on somebody? You never know what type of energy. It could be the nigga causing the shit. You know what I'm saying? He might be a playboy.
Like, he could be cheating on her. He could be
so he could be
verbally abusive.
But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not none of that, because in my personal situation, my joint just wanted to see me the fuck down. And like this girl that we was just watching before you popped up, this dude didn't want to have nothing to do with the girl no more. He was going to store to buy a pack of Newports, and she found him and she ran him the fuck over on the street and killed him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me show you that.
It's not just crazy. Like I said, had he had that full pack on him and had that restraining order on her, it would have been a whole bunch of barriers for her to deal with. And so we got to be serious about our lives. I watched my aunt hit a man in the head with a hammer when I was a child, bro. And my grandmother turned to me and said, "Don't you ever let a woman sneak up on you, or deal with you in an argument. Get away from her and protect yourself. So I learned that as a child. So all of this, letting a man get away with, letting her hit you and letting her aggress you, you make that rule in the beginning so you never get to the physical. Because as men, we already know there's certain words are fighting words. And certain words are respectful. We use respectful to brothers that we respect. We do not use disrespectful words to men that we respect. Men that we don't respect, we talk any type of way to. So that same rule should be given to the woman that you love.
So are you saying that you agree with a man hitting a woman?
You in your tracks.
No,
I agree with self-defense on any account. So be accountable and be responsible for your choices.
I agree with it too. I agree if a woman put her hands on a man and the man can protect himself.
And what we got to do is this. Wow. We got to remember this is a people. Remember, you choose your choices, but you don't get to choose your consequences. So when you do something to someone, hold on, my brother, because we need to learn this amongst ourselves as a people. When you choose to do something to somebody, anyway, verbally or physically, you cannot choose how the person reacts or the penalty of something wrong done to them. So we have to be responsible to ourselves first and make a decision in our brain before we do it in our hand. Because if we do that, we might do something wrong to somebody that we really love in our emotional ignorance. So that's why it's a man and a woman. One is logic and one is emotion. It's called balance. And we need to have that.
Well, I feel like what you said, that you need to have some responsibilities towards yourself. Yeah, I don't believe in letting a woman just beat you up. Now, Queen, there's a difference between protecting yourself and abusing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But in the case where you got to order protection, the bitch is already trying to. My baby moms used to drink a box of wine and stop me from getting out the house. And she's half my size, but she would be 3 times bigger than me once she got that liquor in the system, and she didn't want me to get out the house. She would pull knives out on me. She'd do all type of crazy shit.
You chose that woman. That's how I feel. You guys choose these women that they complain.
Now, that's right, sis. That's right, sis. That's right. And those women chose those men. That's right.
Let me land this, right? Now, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, this is about 15 years ago. I had to learn from that situation in order to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, a man builds a man. You feel me? Circumstances builds an adult too. You feel where I'm coming from? Your circumstances and how you react. You have to go through certain things like the Queen Maya TV said about, you know what I'm saying, not jumping in the middle of everything that, you know what I mean? Like giving it time to learn. That's the relationship process in itself. But I don't believe that you let a woman just beat up on you. I feel like you do what Josh said. You take the proper steps and you move up out of that situation. Now, if you're dealing with a stalker that's going to run you down and kill you, and you know this, and you keeping the grip on you, as she run down on you, you get scared, then you have all right to protect yourself.
Yes, I agree.
Now let me show you this with Maya. I want you to see this video real quick, Maya, because I want we way back. We did women and men. That violence. So we're going to just look at this. Fair use.
Before he decided he needed to break it off.
Well, Detroit police say that woman is responsible for using her car as a deadly weapon in his murder. And it was all caught on surveillance video.
7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig has been talking to the victim's family. And Kim, that surveillance video, kind of hard to look at. I checked it out this morning.
Yeah.
But it seems to point to clear intent.
Absolutely, without a doubt, that this driver was gunning for Terrence Ricks Jr. You'll see him running down the sidewalk here as he's being chased by a car, and behind the wheel, a woman now charged with first-degree murder.
She spun back around.
My son didn't deserve to die this way. If my son's supposed to be burying me, not me burying him.
What happened to 25-year-old Terrence Ricks Jr. is horrifying, and Detroit police say this woman, 20-year-old Denisha Mathis, is responsible for killing him. Her weapon, this car, as young Terrence ran for his life.
She couldn't take the breakup because prior to that day, I heard him on the phones telling someone, I don't know if it was her, don't call my phone no more and don't text me no more.
I know she's just been coming to the house. She will pull in the driveway and she'll say hi, but other than that, no.
Mr. and Mrs. Ricks say their son had only been dating Denisha for no more than a month, and it seemed he wanted to break up, but not Denisha, who came by the house last week Tuesday.
She was in front of my house arguing with my son. I came outside and told my son, I said, leave her alone. Come on in the house, man.
And about 15 minutes later, Mr. Ricks says his son left to go to the store to get some cigarettes, perhaps not realizing Denisha was still around.
she was still in the neighborhood stalking him, you know, and seen him up there on 7 Mile.
It's unclear if the two started arguing again, but what is clear is the evil that is behind the wheel. As investigators say, Denisha Mathis drove her car down 7 Mile, looped around in the parking lot as Terrence desperately tried to get away, but there was nowhere for him to hide, and the father of two was hit and killed, perhaps because he was a man Denisha Mathis couldn't have.
I just want to know why.
Damn.
Why?
And Terrence Ricks Jr. was killed over a week ago, but his family can still not plan his funeral just yet because they simply cannot afford it. If you'd like to help, we'll have a link on our website.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's sad.
I don't know how to the story, so I can't say.
I think far too often a lot of women believe that if a man don't hit you, he don't love you. And that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? You can't be thinking that the only and if you thinking the only way that this man can express love to you or show you that he love you is through causing you pain, bodily harm. Like I don't get where that thinking comes from.
It comes from when a little girl is younger, the mother allowing the father to put her hand. I don't agree with that. There's no man that's going to put his hands on my daughter when they're younger. I don't care if it's her father, because if I allow the father to put his hands on the daughter and discipline my little daughter, she's going to grow up to think it's okay for a man to put their hands on her.
No. Now they're saying letting the father discipline his daughter.
Yes, because
that's not right.
It's a son, that's another story.
That's not right. That's not right. We can't say that.
I'm gonna say it because if I allow this man to put his hands on my daughter, which this is her first man, then it's promoting domestic violence on a child.
Physically,
Okay. Right. In a family setting, right? In a family setting, the mother is often the physical disciplinarian because the father's discipline is in his voice in a real family setting. But however, that mother has a limited amount of effect at a certain age, and a father's presence is most important because the child does challenge the parental authority, especially in our society.
In my home, there is no parental. We either mothers or fathers. Parental rights and that parenting language is dealing with corporation and states being the ultimate parent with the parents portray doctrine. Okay, I don't
explain that to me. Explain that to me. Just explain that definition to me, sis.
Parents portray doctrine is stating that the government is ruled by Saturn, which deals with Capricorn, right? Which is the father of the zodiac. Okay, the Saturn energy is the father of the zodiac, and the government is ruled by Saturn. What does that mean? It means the parents portray doctrine states that the attorney general, right, or the president, or whoever the highest commander is in a society, which is a man, is the father of the nation, right?
Okay,
that's what that means.
I got a question, sis. I got a question. So what you're telling me is that a patriarchal society is not necessary.
I come from a matriarchal line of women. And there's nothing nobody else is going to tell me because I see the flaws inside the patriarchy. That doesn't mean that men are.
Hold on, sis. I got a question.
Yeah.
And you live in a patriarchal society, regardless of your ideology.
No, I don't. I live within my own society. I don't participate in societal things.
Sis, you're interacting with society at this moment, meaning that you are a member of it. So
you cannot tell me what I'm a member of or what I interact with. I'm interacting with people.
I'm not telling you. I'm just explaining our current reality to the other 6 people that are on the panel with you. You are speaking to us, meaning you're interacting with society. Now, if you fail to see that reality,
if you consider yourself society, so be it. I know how to navigate in any jurisdiction. However, I live amongst my own society. I'm a self-autonomous government on my own. I'm a Capricorn. So I self-govern myself and my own.
I understand. As a parent in the solar system.
As a mother in the solar system.
Hold on, sis. The sun, I'm speaking your language. The sun is the center, the power, the life-giving force of the solar system. So the sun, i.e. man, is the life-giving force to life.
No, what you're doing is trying to put in 5%
there-
lessons to the conversation. That's
No,
what you're
sis,
doing.
I'm giving you a scientific explanation.
No, you're giving
to your
me a
your
5%
ideology from astrology.
You're giving a 5% ideology. Everybody on this panel was not from the nations of gods and earth to say that the sun is equivalent to the man.
Okay, then what is the sun equivalent to? Explain its nature. Since we're talking astrology,
the sun is equivalent to light.
And light is what in this world? Light is life. Light is life. Right or wrong?
Listen, I'm not debating that. We're not about to go off the topic and debate that, bro. We want to stay on topic.
You can't speak to real parents and then act as if we're not real parents. See, when you're a breeder,
I'm telling you that you're not a parent. I'm telling you that you're either a mother or a father, and that the parenting language is something legal from the government to claim wardship. That's what I'm telling you.
That allows me to accept your mentality as a failure to parenthood.
I don't care about the word parenthood because I clearly understand what the word parent means, and I'm not a parent.
Have you given birth to a child, my sister?
My daughter is on the panel talking to you.
Now, my sister, being a woman that gave birth to a child, you had to lay down with a man in order to make that child.
Who is arguing over that, bro? You're jumping around, and I'm not dealing with that.
That's called parental
speaking rhetoric right now, bro. I want to deal with the topic at hand.
Hold on, sis. The topic at hand. When you discipline your children with balance, they function in the world with the balance. So your child sees
great children functioning in the world. I have 5 of them.
Your child sees a man as her equal, like he should see her as his equal. It's called king and queen. But the king has a physical authority. The queen has an intellectual or emotional authority. And when they submit to each other, they create harmony. Without that, there's an imbalance, and there's no success compared to those
what
in
a
the
lot of
same
you brothers
society
need to do
that
is
has
balance out your feminine qualities inside yourself, because you keep going
Well, sis,
outside
no,
yourself
no,
talking
sis,
about
no,
this
sis.
balance.
I don't have.
The
If
balance
I got
starts within.
you, if I got my queen, what do I need to get in touch with my feminine quality for when I'm being
Because
masculine
outside
for
your
her?
queen, you are an independent being that need to be balanced within yourself
we're
before you go and
we're
get you a queen.
interdependent. That's how children are created. You're interdependent. You become one.
It's going because this brother want to be argumentative, and I'm actually done with the conversing with you. We can move on to another topic.
I'm not going to be a witness to misinformation.
And this right here is how domestic violence happens, because this brother want to silence women because he believed the son is the man.
I didn't tell you to be quiet. I just asked you questions for clarity, sis. So when you give us babble and rhetoric, I am just holding. I'm just holding you accountable for a statement. I'm just holding you accountable for a statement of
You
disagreement.
can't hold me accountable to no statement, bro, because I spoke facts. I'm not allowing a man,
I asked you to explain your facts
to discipline a young little girl because it's promoting domestic violence on little girls, and this is where it comes from.
Because men don't have the same levels as a woman does.
Period. It's starting inside the home where these women is allowing these men who are so patriarchal, so dominating, so unbearing to discipline a little girl in the home.
Do a mother got the right to discipline her son?
I have 3 sons, and I nurture my son, so I definitely know how to talk to my son.
That's a question, sis. That's a question, sis.
Absolutely.
So what's the difference? So what's the difference, my sister?
The difference is you are outside force. I'm not. Those children were born in fashion inside my womb. They know my temperament. And I'm not
How did you get the child? Did you get the child from a man? You was dormant before a man touched you.
I was created with my ex. You're going off topic again.
You were dormant when a man touched you. No, I'm not feeling superior. I'm just trying to show you equality, sis. And that's
there is no equality between men and women. We have different functions.
Oh, so somebody's superior then. If there's
always
no equality.
Superior. That's what you want.
Then why do you live in a patriarchal society with a matriarchal ideology?
Superior, bro. That's your problem.
Sis, I asked for equality. That's your problem. Failure to be equal with the man.
Bro.
There's none. That's because the influence of the enemy has placed that condition upon us. That's why we're having this conversation in this nature.
I'm saying whatever the conversation is, you keep trying to put yourself as the dominant species to make authoritative calls. That's what you're doing.
I am dominant, and you're dominant.
In your world, in your society,
right?
In your society, it starts inside your home.
Right,
it
that's
starts
what I told
inside
you.
your home, and then it trickles down into the community, into the nation, into the world. That's what I'm telling you. You got to be balanced within yourself.
What's this? All we was addressing was the fact that you decided to interject, saying that the man in the
Should
home,
not discipline the little girls inside the
should
house
not
because it's
discipline his
promoting domestic
daughter.
violence on women.
No, that's a feminist
Absolutely it is.
mindset that's separative of the
Absolutely
family
it is.
structure.
Absolutely it is.
I got you, sis.
Is that the same? Is it right for a woman to discipline her son? Because that can also feed into him that it's all right to let
Let me
women
tell
beat
you
on him
something. I done
as
seen
women get
men.
older.
I done seen women had to step in and bring a feminine, soft nature to these men who are extremists and trying to discipline their sons and causing harm to their own son. Because y'all think that's the correct way. Y'all want to hurt these little boys, punching them in their chest.
Yep.
I've seen all kind of stuff. I seen a man stomp his little son out. The little boy can't even protect himself. So you're
That's
extremists. A
not
lot
what
of
I
you
asked you,
brothers
though,
are
Queen.
extremists and thinking what you think is disciplining the son so he don't be gay. So he's not so he don't have feminine qualities. And I'm telling you, you need to balance out your feminine qualities in yourself first. Then you go get you a feminine woman, right? And then y'all be able to interact with each other. Because I'm definitely equality within myself with masculine energy and my feminine. As you can see, you're not going to dominate me. And if you was my man, if you was my man, which you're not, I don't have to speak nice to you, right? Because you're not my man, right? So I'm gonna give you this energy.
Nah, sis, you're supposed to speak nice to every black man.
No, I'm not
regardless
supposed to
to
speak
whom
nice
or
to
what.
everybody. No, I'm not supposed to speak.
That's
I
a
speak
destructive
very
mentality in our
to men
community.
who are not my man.
You should always speak. You should always
You're
speak
not gonna
nice
tell
to
me what
every
I should
black
do. I'm a
man.
grown adult woman. And I'm not going
know,
to speak
sis.
nice to none of
I
you
get
men
it, sis.
who are not
Some
my
of us
man
are
because you're going to
females
think
and
you
some
can
of
have
us are
me.
women. Like some of us are
Point blank,
men and some
period.
of us are males. I get it, sis. I get it. But you should respect every man like every man
I didn't ever
respects
say
you.
I didn't respect.
I demand respect.
No,
And
I
that's why I'm
command
speaking
respect.
to you in that way.
I
I
command
respect
respect.
you, and you should respect us.
And
As
I,
men.
and I do. And I do.
If you have that dysfunction, you should address the man that and put
This
that
is not about my
inspirational thought in
dysfunction,
your
baby.
mind.
This is not about mine. I'm not the one hitting men with cars.
It's clear, sis.
I'm not the
But I'll
one
leave
running
you
over
with
men
that.
with
Just
cars, boo.
respect all men, sis. It's wise
I
to
have
know.
3 sons that
Then
I
you can
raised up.
pick the right. Then
Respect.
you can pick the right
You're
partner.
crazy.
Hold on, John. Respectfully,
Don't put this on me. I'm not the one in domestic violence situations.
No, that's a fact. But my question to you, Queen, was: do you feel the same way about the woman disciplining the son as you feel about the man, the father disciplining the daughter?
Brother, with all due respect, I just said that I had to step in on men being extremists on trying to discipline their sons. So
No,
I'm not
asking
saying that I
about
have
men.
a
I'm asking,
problem with the man disciplining his daughter by talking to her, but putting your hands on her is not going to work for me because that is the first stage of promoting domestic violence on young women with men through their father. Right now, when it comes to the sons, I discipline my own sons. Right, I discipline my own son. I have to use masculine energy on my sons. Right.
Answer the question
I
for me.
do.
That's an oxymoron, sis.
I don't have a problem with the father disciplining his son as long as he's not extreme. Because
But
you
what psychological effect does that give
energy
on
and
your
hurt each other.
son? What psychological effect does that give on your son when he grows up to be a man to allow a woman to hit on him?
Let me tell you something. My son went into the military and he's more men than a lot of men that I know. So therefore, you need to talk to my son about. You need to talk to my eldest son,
though, right?
You need to talk to my eldest son about how he felt like I raised him.
Sis, often too we internalize and personalize a situation that should be universal. We're speaking universally, not from your personal experience.
Well, you were just saying, me.
Hold on,
No,
sis.
I'm speaking from my own personal experience. That's all I can speak from.
Qualifies you to speak.
That's all I can speak from, my own personal.
Right. It qualifies you to speak to the community. However, it must be in concordance with the logic of the community. So when you say a man disciplining his daughter leads her to the gateway of domestic violence, shouldn't a woman, a mother disciplining her son, lead her son to the gateway of domestic violence?
Absolutely not, because women are nurturers. Most women are nurturers. My sons are grown. I hug and kiss on my sons all the time. When it comes to me disciplining my children, I use a stern tone, just like I'm using with you.
But what about fathers? What role do a father play?
The role of the father, what do they play? You tell me, what role did you play in your father? If you have children, what role did you play? Are you still with the women?
Sis, I raised 17 children over.
Okay, are you still with their mothers?
Hold on, sis. Hold on, sis. Let me explain something. I raised 17 children over a period of 38 years in this 53-year existence. I had my first child when I was 13, born when I was 14. I've been a father, an upstanding father, not just to my children, but all the women that I've ever encountered, I've raised their children. My community, I raised their children. So you're talking to a walking example of
And
a
I
real
respect
black
that.
man.
I
And if you
respect that.
haven't, I'm just telling you, my sister, I love you as a brother. So I'm speaking to you from experience, but that's just personalizing who I am, which is not what our community needs. It needs our word as an example for a function of unity. So your ideology and my ideology of good parental parenting becomes a permeate, a viral, a permeating existence throughout our community. Everybody get it. That's what we need. We need you to share a successful story and for me to share a successful story, but do it in a way that our people don't have to hear our story and just hear the facts, the elements of it, so they can adopt it and become successful for themselves. It's not that we should be argumentative or debative. We should be argumentative and debative for good purposes and a good outcome of
And that's why
understanding
people
for
should
our
have
audience.
good character and be an example by having good character in the community, first within themselves and their household, and then in the community. That's how I feel. That's
That's what I believe that we should be busy
I live by
promoting.
good character.
We
That's
should be
what I
busy
live by.
promoting
That's what
that
I
by
promote
being
is good character.
right.
It's
And
men
when
and
people
women.
see us, when people see you and I in the community, they see that because we have to live it. So regardless of how you and I chop it up, other people are getting a good universal understanding. And from that universal understanding, it's helping our community. As long as we go through hell in order to bring love and create peace, we already know that there's no other way for us to be a people together. So that's what I'm saying,
I
that
run a
you bring your
nonprofit
pieces.
organization where I uplift the wounded mother and every woman. I'm very active in the community. I get brothers that get locked up out of prison. I'm very well known in the community that I come from. So, like, I do my part. That's all I can do. That's all I can do is be an example by my own actions, man. That's it. I cannot try to force anybody or try to convince anybody to do anything. Only thing I could do is lead by an example. And when people come seeking me out, I give the wisdom. That's it. Like, I'm not going out here trying to save everybody. I have to save myself. Then myself, my family, the community, then the nation. That's how it go. I can't just jump out there and try to get and tell everybody they need to be like this or they need to do that. People need to figure out what's best for them. And my personal opinion is that we have to know what certain words mean because they are power, words of power, and we need to stop calling ourselves parents. We have to call ourselves mothers and fathers because the word parent that you keep using does not mean what you think. That's the first thing that and this is how I
get that the word parent may have a deeper ingrained definition or source of creation that we use that may be a euphemism. But when we say mother and when we say father in the English language, we speak of them as being a responsible unit. That means as a unit, that's why I keep using the word parent, parenthood, and parental balance.
I like the word unit better. I like when you use the word unit.
Well, these words are synonymous with each other, is what I'm saying.
The word parent is not synonymous with unit. I'm just going to let you know that.
All right, sis, you and I will agree to that, but we have other people that are listening that will not agree to that or subscribe to that. So what I'm saying is this: let's make it clear that we're using words synonymous to deliver an equal message. Because when a man and a woman first get together as a couple, when you first meet each other and decide to have a lustful activity of sex, there's no imbalance there. There's two people following or pursuing something that they think is love that's really called lust. And lust is an activity of infatuation. So when we deal with that and reality comes later, we have to be responsible for our activities dealt with in lust.
And that's why I say you have to have good character, brother.
Keeping that balance is important. And by example, I'm Islamic, as I chose when I was 12 years old. However, every woman that I've been with in a relationship, I've only had 3 children biologically, but I've reared responsibly 17. So there is no escape of responsibility or accountability, especially when it comes to talking to a man of his community like myself. I do not let men get away with it. If I'm raising your child, bro, you're going to interact. I don't give a damn if you was a failure before I got with this woman. Now that I'm around here, you my brother, and you're going to be responsible for this now. Even while I'm with her. That's called community. It's also called righteous intent. And we should have that in everything that we do as a people. That way you can look at me as a brother and a man, and I can look at you as my sister and my queen. Because I call you queen because I serve you as a king. And that's a partnership. It's not a dictatorship. And we have to rule ourselves away from being or perceiving that others have that type of mentality. I don't. I need you, my yin to my yang. I need you. And that's what we have to start dealing as a people. You're my sister and I'm your brother.
I have nothing. I agree. Definitely agree about that.
Take it back. Like he has said, he asked a question when he said, does he think that mothers hitting the sons, does that promote a bad type of like, oh, the son's going to become domestic violence and he's not going to know. He's going to think it's normal for a woman to hit him in a relationship. No, my personal opinion on that is I don't feel like that. I feel like ain't no real man that got tapped on the booty by their mom, you know, was raised in the world to go and beat on women. I think it's different for a little girl. You know what I'm saying? Men don't know how to.
We're talking about the psychologically, we talk about how kids think, though. We're talking about children. We're talking about,
right.
You know, when you say, you know, it can psychologically affect the daughters because she's young and she's experiencing this as a child. When you saying psychologically affecting a young man, it could be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The brain is built the same way.
No, the man brain and the woman brain is not built the same way. That's what makes us different. Y'all brain heavier than our brain. We are more intelligent than y'all to a certain point, and then when we get our period, we have deficiencies in our intellect, some women. And then we go through menopause and we don't have those deficiencies any longer. So there is a difference between the chemical makeup of a man and a woman dealing with their mind and their brain. There's a difference. One frontal lobe is bigger than the other.
There's a lot of indifferences between human, male and female. However, those indifferences play into an exact balance.
I agree.
So the woman has certain sensory that's heightened in her being. The man has a certain sensory that's heightened in his being. And when used properly, harmoniously, they become a force, a power, a force of one, unstoppable. That's why I speak, unify, man and woman. There's no need for man just to be man and responsible or woman to be woman held with responsibility. That's something that's been placed in us from a conditioning and a lifestyle, a culture.
So when I said brains are built the same, I was meaning by how you know, live through living life is how you learn things. You learn things through experience. That's how the brain is built. I wasn't talking about the actual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about.
You're not talking about the anatomical activity.
Yeah, right. I was talking about experiences and through life is how you build your brain. So
you're speaking the shaping
with what you're saying. So don't nobody have any assumptions, because then you need to effectively communicate that what you're saying.
Yeah, but if you would have let me, if you didn't let me land, that's why you couldn't complete. I couldn't complete my sentence because you cut me off midterm.
I mean, we're in an open debate. I've been getting cut off the same way, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a complaint. That's why I just was quiet, Queen. That's all, because I think these conversations is needed between us, so we can have understanding, and through understanding, we can try to reach out to others. So you know, I'm not here. I'm enjoying the conversation. I just got questions like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And my thing was, you know, the thing was, if a woman beats, if your terminology is a man beats on a girl, you know what I'm saying? His daughter, that she's gonna grow up with the mentality that it's all right for a man to beat her. But if a woman beats on a boy, you automatically assume that he's smart enough to determine, nah, I ain't supposed to let a woman hit me. You know what I'm saying? That's my mother. So like you automatically determine that inside.
It's the discipline that he needs to understand, because your mother is going to teach her son. Like a mother is going to teach her son. It's different for a man when he hits a daughter. It's different. You've been
y'all trying to
hit
sit
by
up here
your
and
mom or a
justify that, and
couple
that's
other
what I
mothers on the
can't
planet.
get with.
We're not trying. I'm not trying to justify anything.
Hold on. Can I say something, please? Can I please say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like we have to recognize this as men. My sisters, you're on here with men. You're not on here with a bunch of males. So we're respectful, we're proper, and we're honest. So what we're speaking from is a truthful platform of equality. All we want is justice in this conversation. We cannot have a premeditated thought of feminism.
Nobody has a premeditated thought.
Hold on, sis. Because we asked a simple, logical question that was answered with a socially influenced answer.
Nobody socially influenced anything.
Hold on, sis.
We're not going to keep doing that, bro.
If you put two children in a room and teach them math in the same way, they learn 2 + 2 = 4 the same way. A boy child and a girl child.
How about we
hold on, sis. Let me finish. Let me land.
Oh my God.
Those two children learn that 2 + 2 is 4. See, cognitive dissonance is serious. I'm just trying to show you a moment. If you teach that girl that her father disciplining her leads a gateway to domestic violence,
it's already domestic violence, bro.
Hold on, sis. It's the same way for the mother to hit the baby boy. His brain now leads him to a gateway of domestic violence. You can't have it both ways. And if you try to have it just your way,
it seems like it's all right for the woman to do anything.
I have 3 sons, bro.
That's from a feminist mindset.
If the little boy go touch fire and I smack his hand, then I smack his hand.
Don't he learn the same lesson that she learned when she go to touch the oven?
When she go touch the oven, I'm gonna smack her hand.
That's right. Now hold on. When the father smacked the hand of the daughter, don't she learn the same lesson that you taught her?
No, she don't. She learns that
now it's abuse.
See,
now it's abuse.
I'm the nurturer, bro.
Sister, y'all gotta qualify
to
with
be a nurturer. We know how to discipline with nurturing qualities.
And hold on, sis. What is a man made to be?
Some of you guys do with extreme qualities.
You're talking about white men, though, sis.
No, you're bringing up white men. You're bringing up white men.
Listen, who you think taught us all this?
I'm not tolerating that. And then you try to overtalk me all the time.
Hold on, sis.
Your opinion that holds no weight in the universe.
Didn't you tell us that the word parent was a governmental word incited to us by the white man, which is synonymous
So am I lying, bro? You have an issue with everything I'm saying because you want to be combative towards me.
Don't deflect, my sister. Let's
No, this is not a deflection. Stop projecting your stuff on me, bro. Because what I'm speaking is facts. What I'm speaking is facts, and what you're speaking is your feelings.
Let's be responsible for these words, sis. We mislead others.
And that's why I'm speaking. Why don't you go get your diction up and learn some more vocabulary words so that we can have a better conversation? Because what I'm telling you is not wrong. Whether you receive it or not is on you. That's on you whether you receive it or not.
My sister, I understand.
Domestic violence. So she's absolutely right. So if I see a woman smack a kid, I'm calling the police.
Then call the police then. If you're so great in the community and your community activist, why you couldn't walk up to that woman and give her words of wisdom?
Domestic violence. You can't have it two ways. Is it domestic violence?
You know what? You're condescending.
Now it's somebody else's fault. That's called being ignorant and not accountable, sis. And see, that's the problem with our community. We don't want to be responsible for the bullshit that we carrying, bro, when we held accountable for it, man. Be responsible, that's all. Don't blame other people. Let's blame ourselves when we got our own failures and we address the failures of others so we can correct the community. Let's not have that ignorant mindset from a feminist influence, man. That's wrong.
John, my question really was because I know there are men out there that have daughters and that have custody of their daughters, then there's no female involved. So when these little girls step out of line, I wonder, is he not to chastise them? He's not to put them in line.
So that you're talking to one of those men. You're talking to one of those men, bro. That's my point. Like when you chastise your child, you do it with love, bro. You don't do it with abuse. That's nigga shit. And women are just as capable of doing that as men because we learn from the same source. Like, what's wrong with us, man? That's feminist semantic bullshit, bro. A man is just as equally as important because a woman ain't got no child without a man. When do we get off that ignorance? Like, come on, man. Black people, man, we messed up, bro.
I mean, I just have.
So that's why we gotta have these conversations.
life and everybody's scenarios are different. So I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with everything that you're saying, but for me, I feel like how many of you brothers have y'all mom had popped y'all on the butt or did something to y'all that it wasn't considered domestic violence? I think that sometimes if it's not a man that is aware of his actions, if it's not a man that's in touch with himself to know that you have to deal with women delicately, down to the little girls, down to the grown women. You know what I'm saying? It's some men out here that's abusive, that will abuse their
Can I
daughter.
ask a question for you again? Where is you guys keep saying this, but y'all are speaking from a woman's point of view. We're men on here. Like
Right.
I when I peep.
Right.
I just
They
don't.
have no idea because they
But
keep
nothing
using the
wrong
example.
with more men's
Sis,
perspective on it. We
You're
have
telling no. Listen, no. Forget that. We're not telling you how women are. You're telling us how
right.
we are. I want to know, how do you know that? You're
Know
not a
that.
man. How
okay.
you
So
know that? Tell me, because we done got deep into this, and I'm just curious. Who told you this? Where are you getting this from? And how do you know that we as men not in touch with ourselves? Because we all had a mama, right? So if our
yes,
mama
y'all
smacked
have,
us,
but
would we have nurturing?
I can't listen, y'all. It is 1, 2, 3, probably 4 brothers on here, and now I'm the only female. I can't speak
Now
from a
you
man's
feeling threat.
perspective.
No, we ain't doing that. We ain't
No,
gonna do
I'm
that
being
now.
real. You're not gonna cut me off after you ask me.
You
Let
should
me finish
excuse
what I'm
yourself.
saying.
Bam, you should excuse yourself respectfully then. And
No, it have
we'll
nothing.
Sis, we're
bam,
not doing that. Sis, we're not gonna do anything wrong to you, sis. Go ahead and speak your piece, sis. We want to build with you though. You feel me?
Exactly.
So go ahead, sis.
Saying. So my thing is this. I can't speak from a man's perspective. I can only speak from a woman's perspective. And what I'm saying is I'm a female. I have dealt with all different kinds of men in my life. I've dealt with some ain't shit niggas. I've dealt with some cool niggas, cool. I've dealt with some sweet, respectable, cool, right? The point that I'm trying to make is from based off of the things that I have seen and experienced, that is how I'm able to make the assumption of saying some of y'all men are out of touch. And the ones that are out of touch should not be informed to discipline physically. Now, emotionally, verbally, because a brother said earlier, the man's power is in his voice and his approach, what he says. That is we're talking about brothers that are conscious, brothers that know right from wrong. Maybe I'm thinking from the ones that shouldn't. That's why my opinion is what it is.
My sis, can I say
right.
something to that, sis? The first lesson that our daughters learn about a man is from a responsible father. And when that responsible father is present, they have the strongest percentage of chance to pick the proper mate when they interact with a man because they know how to study him. They've been taught and honed how to identify certain characteristics. They've had conversations like I've had with all of my daughters on teaching them what to do and how to do. Every man got game. You just have to pick which game you want to play and make sure you're good at it. See,
Right,
so we have to, that's the point. It was what I was explaining to the other sister. We have to protect our daughters as men. They don't just need just their mother because just their mother can't teach them how to deal with a man. Just like a boy needs a mother to teach them how to deal with a woman. I learned how to deal with women from my matriarchal examples. I learned how to be a man from my patriarchal examples. Men taught me how to be a man. That's how I became a man. A woman could never teach me anything nowhere near that. And regardless to whom or what, I got real beatings from a woman that was born in Jamaica in 1910. So I'm talking about extension cords, you name it. I got beat with it. But I learned, hey, as a man, you don't never let no woman beat on you or hit you. You gotta learn that from men. I wouldn't have known anything different when I got older. That's why I use a scenario like, hey, because in my life, when a woman slapped me, that was it. It was a wrap. And I didn't care how good she looked. All I wanted to do was punch her back. I'm a fighter. All I wanted to do is get my hit back when I see it, every time I see it. And it's been years, and I will probably think the same way when I see her again, so I know how it feels. That's why I'm telling you that. I'm not coming from a biased position.
So what I think you're trying to say is that as an irresponsible parent, mother or father, you should not be disciplining the child if you don't know how to control yourself. Because I've seen women that beat their kids because the kid looks like the father and the father's no longer around and she hates the father. So she treat that kid more fucked up than she treat other. Like there's women out there that do just as much as vindictive shit to their children.
No. In our community, the black women do 1,000 times more abuse than black men. We don't have possession of them. And the major abuse, like that sister that just killed that 5-year-old baby and put him in that trash bag and left him on the highway with the boyfriend, stupid simp ass nigga. See, that's my point, sis. Pardon my expression, but that's my point, sis. That upsets me because this male, he wasn't no man. He allowed her influence.
What's going on? If we're gonna blame
That's
woman, where was the father?
No, listen carefully. Listen carefully, sis. Listen to what I said. The boyfriend, he wasn't the father, but the boyfriend was just another male. He wasn't a man. See, a father teaches his daughter the difference between a male and a man. And we keep calling these males men. And we can't, that's why we're offended. We're like, that's not us. It's not a real man. You're speaking about like a 10% of us that's functioning on that plane, abusing babies. We don't do that. We hurt and kill people to do that for my community. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you, since it's a different world out here in reality than what they perceive and project us to be. We're not that. We're men.
I've seen. I haven't come in contact with too many good black men. I've not come in contact with that.
Well, you got something today, my sister. Just stick around us and we'll show you how he's supposed to look, sound, and be.
Yeah, because my experiences with men are not the best. So when I'm speaking my opinion, it's based off of my situation and my experiences. And I've seen crazy things. I've seen a grown man abuse his son. I've seen men loving and treating their daughters how they're supposed to be seen. But I get that we're saying you're asking a question, but my opinion is I don't feel like I've been spanked as a child, but I never was spanked from my dad. My dad never did that to me. And if he did, it would have probably made me feel like, well, dang, like.
But see, now you're speaking off opinion because you said it would have probably made me feel. Is you saying because you haven't experienced that, you have to guess on how that situation would have turned out? You're not basing it off of fact. You're basing it off of an opinion. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's real, sis? You know what's real, sis? In a home with a father and a mother, the mother always got to check the daughter and the father always got to check the son, right? Not just in disciplinary activities, but in authoritative activities. Because the girl, when my daughters, their moms wouldn't let me have any judgment because they would manipulate me. It's called daddy's girls and mama's boys. See? So boys know how to turn it on their mom and girls know how to turn it on to their dads. So dads are really not what people keep perceiving us as black men. And the reason I was trying to explain that to the sister, like we got to go to the core of it, which is our social engineering, how we've been shaped. They don't look at black men as upstanding, good, loving fathers. They look at us as these cheating, no good, abusive, woman-beating men.
Let me ask
and
you
that's
something,
not who we are.
Hey, John, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you think dominant and passive is a couple? Do you think two dominant mother, a dominant father, do you think there's a lot of head clashing and a passive mother and a passive father is a lot of getting ran over? Because, kids run over their parents too. You know what I'm saying? Do you think like
that's why
dominant and passive got to connect so it can be a balance there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a dominant mother, you need a passive father. Because I know a lot of men don't beat their kids. I don't beat my kids. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to, but you do have to make sure show that the threat is real. So when they do violate, see, that's the purpose of physical chastisement. When you violated the verbal, mental, emotional order, now we have to take it to the next level. And a good example of your question, or to answer your question, a good example is just study the lions. See, when you lose your way, just study the lion. The male lion, he's the killer of the whole jungle, bro. When he hits you with his paw, rip your whole body apart. When he bites you, he could choose to kill you for food or to kill you in destruction like he bite hyenas.
But the women do most of the hunting.
The women do the majority of the hunting, right? Because they do that. It's a privilege to hunt, to be able to hunt. See, you wouldn't have nothing to hunt if I didn't have territory. You get me? That's the nature of the lion, see? So if it's not for me, you wouldn't have you. And if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have children, even though you were strong. You're ferocious. You kill everything, female lioness, because you're my partner. Now I'm physically your authority. I'm physically your superior. And I'm that by nature for a reason. I teach, I profess, and I protect. And none of them women spoke about anything about protection, because in a feminist society, it teaches you that you don't need no man, because you can always call the white man.
I don't have a problem with the woman in the leader role. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's a lot of
I got a problem with it, because a woman can be swayed and dismayed by her emotion, bro. That's why she's not naturally in the leadership role. Just think, if you had women that are so easily influenced to think the way those women were thinking and programming other women to think, where would you be at in that society? See, someone created this.
I don't think all women think like that, you know, and shout out to them, you know, whatever works for them. I'm not here to try to make
because I give you a prime example. So I give you a prime example, like you said, the logic, right? Logic versus emotion. Us as men, because we're men and being logical, the way the conversation went, the way that we as men, even though we don't know each other, we wouldn't talk to each other like that, because the logic knows that we can only get to a certain degree of aggression, and after that it's done. But when you're talking from that point of view and you're talking to men like this, that's why I said it's best to excuse yourself, because we are men. And just like she said, you ain't my man, just like you ain't my woman, and you ain't gonna talk to me like that. That's what I'm saying. That's the logic and emotion.
That's the problem. That's the problem, Cross. So if women were ruling, they would go based upon their emotion, and an emotion is influence. So you can be influenced to feel any type of way somebody wants you to feel. Just like niggas are feeling about Chi-Town behind something that somebody else said about Floyd, when niggas don't know Floyd, they ain't give a damn about Floyd. If you seen George Floyd around your way, you wouldn't even talk to that nigga because you knew he was a junkie. See, so let's stop playing with ourselves. When we get so emotionally drunk, we start reacting instead of being logical in our reactions, bro, and emotional in our celebrations.
Because we as logic, we're telling her, listen, ma'am, it's just, we're not talking to you like that. And she's steady going, because again, she's using on whatever she think is a masculine trait. But if you were in front of men talking like that, then the first thing you would do is you would resort to an emotional trait, because a man doesn't have that, and he gonna snap, because then you're gonna say, like, no disrespect, the woman on there, when we got to talking, the first thing she said was, wait a minute, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 men on it.
Right. So my question is that you don't think men make decisions emotionally? You think men always think about what their next move?
We make everything. Our thing is like daddy's little girl. Like, I got a daughter. My daughter's man can get over on me emotionally, but then there's a logic where it comes in, where we tell our kids growing up, everything is a no. You can't say yes to everything, because then it gets misinterpreted. Because when you go out there in the real world, when they tell you no, you're going to react emotional instead of saying, okay, they said no. Now, how logically can I figure that out? Now, if you don't have, like you said, have the father figure or anybody around, because that's why I said that's where the logic thing come in. She can say what she wants to, but if you hit up one child, a child is a child. You said hitting a child is domestic abuse. A child is a child. So if I see a mother hit a little boy, I'm calling the police. That's just what it is. That's the logic and what I'm looking at. Now, the emotional part would be like what that little boy did as a father. And then I would probably go over and put in logic, hey, man, don't do that to your mama. But I'm not finna just sit there and say, if my wife don't hit, because what if my wife decides she don't want to hit my son? And my son is wilding out. So if I step in, you're going to call the police on me? Like, let's make it. That's where the logic comes in at. So you telling me, what if you decide I don't want to whoop my child, and you can't touch him? If you touch him, that's domestic. If you the mother, and then the son raise up and be something else totally different, because
it came down to the point they said the father shouldn't even hit the son neither, like the daughter or the son, like that. I said, like a father that's raising daughters. So what type of, you know what I'm saying, what level, what do he have if he can't discipline his daughters, if he can't teach them right from wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what that when it becomes removing the male out of the nucleus of the home.
Y'all know why y'all talking like that? Y'all know why y'all talking with such confusion and you can't make anything of it? Because they were influenced from an outside influence called the feminist movement to spew the stuff that they're speaking. Remember, she said a matriarchal dominance. She come from a long line. Them women ain't have children with each other. They all had to get a piece of sausage in order to get the hot dog. I don't know what's wrong with us, bro. I don't know what's wrong with us, man. But that's what's wrong with us. It's that outside influence, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I think the whole world is in a state of confusion.
These young boys in the street, they've been raised by women. So that's where you get your emotional example of males acting out themselves.
And this is what I wanted to tell her, Josh. 73% of young males are raised by single households of women. So if that's the case, y'all need to be whooping their ass a little bit more then, because these little niggas around here with streets and shit.
No, because mama boys always run their house. That's why they doing wild stuff, killing the next door neighbor and still coming and sleeping in her crib. See, because she has no masculine discipline. And she don't know what to do with it. And she's looking at her failures, and only thing she can do is cry at the funeral or cry in court. That's real. Word is born. I just went to Tennessee to get my son out of their jails, bro. I just went to Tennessee to get our son out of their jails. When the DA talked to me, he said, yo, I'll let you know when they got to go to court. I'll tell you after the arraignment. He didn't know, bro. He didn't know that I was on the plane. I went from Jersey to Memphis, Tennessee in a few hours. When I got there the next day, he thought the way I was dressed, he thought that I was another lawyer for my son. Right. The lawyer said, no, that's his father. Man, when the DA seen me as a father, you know what he said? He said, sir, I applaud you. Because regardless of how many black men are in here, you're the first father I seen come from out of town so fast, dressed so well to represent your son. He said, I would have looked at your son if he was with his mother as just another case. Now that's real, bro. That's a white man told me that in the courtroom, bro, because a black man showed up for his child. See, so women is running around here without no man. You made a choice because your mother made a bad choice, and your grandmother made a bad choice, and your great-grandmother probably made the right choice, but your grandmother deviated from it. That's why you're talking like you come from a long line of matriarchal order, supremacy. Stupid. That don't rule in the real world because you live in a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman in it. That's the song, tell you the truth.
What I wanted to do, I wanted to ask her, okay, so if you say you done this analysis on all these niggas you done fuck with, are you with somebody now?
No, that's why she got on talking. She got on talking about the zodiac. She got on talking about the zodiac. So we take her to the celestial beings of the zodiac. Now you want to deflect by saying you're not a 5%. Get out of here with that, bro. Don't do that to us. We real men. We're not them simps.
So I'm just a nigga that don't want to understand what she talking about. She didn't tell me what she was talking about. She just said she dealt with a lot of niggas. Her and her mama dealt with a lot of niggas. Still ain't got no nigga. That's what that sound like.
I just want my sister to understand that she can't keep running from her brothers, bro, and think she's gonna get protection from the other. Because at the end of the day, them white women return into their white men, regardless of whether they claim to be lesbian, feminist, or whatever have you, bro. That is not the real world. The real world is ruled by men, wicked men, bro. And they got women thinking, our women, the only women that's thinking like that. Can't find nobody else doing this shit.
And that's what's so
can't find them. Even the white lesbians don't do this because they don't oppose their fathers and their brothers when it comes down to crisis.
Well, you know what scares me about that is the fact that she said, you basically, if you see a man disciplining his daughter's running around, and he tells her, bring your butt here, and he spank her butt for doing something, you gonna call the police? That's domestic violence? How the hell domestic? Because the Bible says
somebody scared to ride spoil a child.
The Bible said God says you chastise those you love. So if I don't stop my child from doing something, because in the real world that person don't have the same love that I have for my child. So if I send my child out there in that world, I'm sending them out there blind man shuffling. Especially for a male, because it's much more different. So as a male, you mean to tell me he gonna learn from you? So when he get in front of another man like you were talking, and he stand in front of him, yeah, I ain't gotta listen to you, I ain't gotta talk to you, bow. See, you ain't teach him that. You didn't teach him that a nigga hit him dead in his mouth, right there in the middle of his mouth. If he get to talking like that, when somebody said, "Hey, bro, I'm not talking to you like that, bro. Like, can you just stop? Like, tone it down a little bit. You got a lot of testosterone built up. Let's bring it down to the balance of estrogen with testosterone, because you talking crazy, and it ain't nothing but men. This ain't like no we bashing men day over here. No, man, we talking about domestic violence in adults, and that even got from adults to kids. No, man, no, we ain't doing that.
You know why that was done? Because far too often, like I told her sister, stop deflecting the narrative to fit your own story, man. Because your story is getting away from the accountability that you hold as a partner. See, these men don't just pop out of nowhere, bro. Like all of a sudden, the man popped out, got you pregnant, and disappeared. No, nigga, no. He got with you. You met him at the club. See, y'all got together. Y'all started knocking boots, and next thing you know, you done got a kid. And when you met him at the club, where you think he is when you meet him there?
So
he
you
didn't meet. While you pregnant, While you pregnant, he at that same club meeting the next chick that he's going to get pregnant. That's who he is, and you chose that booger, so you got to eat it.
But listen, John. So
and that's our problem.
So what you trying to basically tell me in this situation was, all else fails, goddamn, say you a hate, you go against the other gender, because it sounds like you got years of game ran on you. You got 3 boys, and you said you got your daughter that's right there. She going through the same shit too. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Who learned out of this whole deal?
Hold up. Back up. You said that was her daughter?
That was her daughter on there too. She said,
that
my
was
daughter.
her daughter that was up here together.
Yeah,
the daughter is 26-year-old that first came in, and she made the statement that no man should put his hands on a woman at all, or at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I remember that, and I didn't know. Oh, I didn't see. Well, see.
My question to her was, is it a woman?
Think about it, when she got off, her daughter was still left. So then we talking. I said, well, look, then you explain to me. So I'm just going to call. See, wait a minute. And then she looked at it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4. And I felt, no, you ain't doing Black Karen today, baby. I don't even know you. We're not even nowhere in the presence of where you at. You do not feel threatened. No, because see, you're going off saying you raise men. This is where the confusion is. You ain't been around enough men, because now you're around men, and guess what happens? The Karen comes on. I'm threatened. Wait a minute.
You feel other than yourself. No, you feel other than yourself when you're around real men. And you know why? Because you have to first be a real woman. See, it's a difference, bro. We have to identify ourselves. See, and that's what I'm trying to bring the sisters up to being real women.
Because like a mother was up there arguing the whole time, you're telling her calmly, she calling you bro. I'm like, okay, you on something different right now, bro.
Yeah,
like, what the? Why are you on here?
Yes,
like, boy told me yesterday, man, get her ass off here, man. Why is she on
here? But you know what? Sometimes a verbal chastisement is the best thing for us, bro. We're living in a world of image instead of integrity. So we got to start forcing integrity through our image. And sometimes we got to do it just like this. My thing is get down and lay down, bro. So if you're around here, you're going to learn the lesson today. I ain't the average nigga that's going to be distracted by your deflection.
Yeah.
No, we're going to address the issue.
Get that they was part of the feminist movement, whatever. You can definitely get that from them because of the fact that, like I said, she said, for no reason at all should a man put his hands on a woman. But I thought she was going to follow that up and say, well, there's no reason at all should a woman put her hands on a man. But that never followed it up. So I'm thinking the father should not hit the daughter or beat the son. Like, the father shouldn't have everything that makes a man. He should get rid of and get in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah, I was tripping about that. I was like, damn, dog, so I got to sit down to pee now?
Right. Did you hear what I told her? I said, that's not a necessity if I got you. You are that. I just got to maintain my masculinity. If you are the feminine, why do I have to get in touch with my feminine side? So you can get in touch with your masculine side and dominate me? See? Because masculinity is the activity of dominance. Look at anything in nature. I'll wait.
No, those are a fact. Like I said, I don't have a problem with seeing a woman as a leader because, like I said, there's a lot of passive men. You know what I'm saying? And I think dominance and passive, I think together there's the balance within that together. You know, that's why
I think we're using the wrong word, because a passive man is not a man, that's a male. See, passivity don't come, a man has to disregard himself for being passive when you're the protector. So they make us deal with these emotional connotations, when in reality, I just have to respect my queen, my woman, my love. I gotta respect her, that's it. And everything else fall right. My uncle always taught me, you only owe a woman two things. Everything in the world that you can ever give will fall up under these two things: attention and respect. So at the end of the day, you give a woman attention and respect, you're doing everything that's necessary to maintain her. Anything she went outside of that is something that's been influenced outside of y'all, and that means she ain't with you.
That's deep.
So we gotta stop being passive to outside influences and be men, because the lion don't compromise for nothing. He don't compromise his nature for nothing.
Hey, John, you know, I'm like Bully is on this. I'm gonna compromise. Hey, look, I'm gonna make a joke. Yeah, so you need to start getting your feminine side when we be talking, because we getting too masculine right now.
It's crazy.
That's
I understand. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
How can I turn my masculinity down?
Yeah.
Like who made that up? Except somebody that don't want black men to be seen as men.
John, that's what makes you want to tap in and find that out. When you find that out, my nigga, let me know, because it's probably gonna take you a long.
You know what she's saying? You know what she's saying? Let me stick this cucumber and my tongue up your butt. Get in contact with your feminine side. See, that's that stuff they're teaching these women, bro. And we got to stop them right where they at. I don't need nothing feminine. Everything feminine has already been given when I made my daughter. That's the only thing feminine in me, those chromosomes. And I decide whether she's going to be a male or a female. So you just receive my live seed, my intelligence that find that dormant egg, and you be the medium of life, which makes you a partner. You're necessary, but you're secondary. And that's a fact.
Yeah, that was something else. I understand that. When I say when I say something slick like, okay, when I see a woman hit a boy, I'm gonna call the police. Then they get mad at me. See, there you go, you change, bro. You just said if a man hit a little girl, call the police. Why can I not call the police on a little boy? So if I see it in the women around there like she is, and I see them, they talking about that feminine stuff, they better not walk off and spank no child. I'm calling the police. Them women right there. Them the women. That's why I said you can't have it both ways, dog. That's why I said that's where you're taking one side, like y'all said, trying to sway the emotion, and then trying to talk about I've been out talked all night. You just feel like you got to push this agenda on me. I'm like, bro, where'd she come from?
Yeah, I just think we got to be more informative and educational and defiant. Like the brother said, we be passive when we're giving delivery to our children. That's when we give that moment of affection. And that's the word we should use, affection, because to be passive is to be weak in. And we ain't doing that. We're going to be we are going to be affectionate while giving our affection. And that's the love that they need and not just should want.
So you think we systematically is being taught to be passive aggressive, and women are being programmed to be dominant? Is that a systematic trait, or is that something that's being implanted in our minds?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, like just that right there alone, if we were having a massive amount of people, it's easy to, again, when you're not up on it and don't have any kind of foundation, you're easily swayed. So it doesn't really mean that it's a system thing. It's things like that, like what they call them, you know what I'm saying? It's like plants, like that right there. That was a planted situation because it took two of them because they knew. And then once the one had to gracefully bow, the other one felt like, oh, it didn't work. But imagine how many times did they do that? if you're consistent in anything, it's bound to happen, and because nobody's catching it. So that's our problem. We don't catch it, and then we continue just like John, like I did the other day. We're sitting there and we're having conversations to give the benefit of the doubt, but this person is is talking about some masculinity. When they said toxic masculinity, I already knew from the gate what was about to go. And that's why I was like, "What is a toxic masculine? How does a woman? How can a woman? That's like us saying a toxic female." Man, we can give characteristics of it, but we don't know what a toxic. We're not a female. We don't know what they go through. Just like as a male, she can't say that. And that's when the daughter at least came back and said, and she put that caveat there was, I'm only going by my experience. So the question would be for her
But not,
is,
not only her experience, she's also going by her upbringing, because we know who her mother is now. You
come
understand
on.
what I'm
So
saying?
then the question would be is, if I seen this happen and if it's working, then why are you so, listen what I said. This is why I get upset about people that these different movements. If you got your kudos for your movement, why are you so upset? Why you speak with so much hate? Because you should be happy. Like, think about that. If you're telling us this movement and this is what it is and this is what it's gonna be, and we're lost on it and we don't know. If we don't know, then you should be
Yeah,
happy we don't know.
I think she believed that we were womanizers. I don't think she believed that we actually honor and respect women.
But in
Like,
what
I think
factor? Because we were speaking again. That's where they're going wrong. It was men on the panel, and if they wanted to know, when we were asking, think about it. When we were asking, and you were asking questions because you were inquisitive, you wanted to know. They didn't want to know. They didn't say, "Well, what do y'all think on this?" Well, why do y'all think men do that? And they automatically assume. That's why I said the problem with some women like that. Instead of asking a man, if you ask the man why he do it, he'll tell you. But you always, well, yeah, you probably was here. Yeah, you probably did that. Yeah, and y'all do this, and yeah, y'all do that. And never, not one time did she ask, why do y'all do that?
yeah, the reason I ask a lot of questions is because I want to be in tune on who I'm about to conversate with, debate with, whatever. I need to know the way you think. You know what I mean? So that way I can base my conversation or debate off of the way you think. You know what I'm saying?
No, you did exactly, and it was exactly right. And that's the thing that tripped me out. The fact that that's what we were trying to do. We were just trying to get, like they said, all in getting understanding, right? So that's all we were trying to get. But automatically, we were already looked at before they came on the panel, like you said, and that's the bad problem. How can you? That means you have bad choice. Isn't that amazing? The dudes that they fuck with ain't about shit, but they come on here and think we ain't shit.
Yeah. See, what I do is I believe that we all live in. We all have our own My reality ain't your reality. You know what I'm saying, big homie? But we all have to maintain. We all have to live in the same society, and that's the thing that combines us is where we live and how we live. So if we're talking about people in our society and our communities, and these are the problems that we face in our communities, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how she don't work on that. You know what I'm saying? No, my reality may not be your reality, but we live in the same society. We the same color. We get treated the same when we go places. You know what I'm saying? By those who look at us as lesser than, not by everybody, but for those that look at us as lesser than, we face the same treatment. We face the same trauma as a people.
That's right. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's what John was trying to say as a community. Again, when he was saying coupled, that's still at the end of the day connected too. So a lot of times we're not looking at it. That's why there's no real true authority or a big voice, because we don't champion behind situations like this to say, wait a minute, now tell us why you said that. And the whole time they started talking about other different things, but they were only speaking from experience. That's why I got offended when they said, well, I raised 3 boys. Well, then you did a great job. That's great. But you can't base off of your blueprint of raising them boys, because at the end of the day, if us as men would ask them men questions about how you raised them, they would give us the answer as men that we know the answer is going to be. So as a mother, you're empathetic and sympathetic. Of course, you're going to give yourself kudos. But what about all those men, like you said, that are single dads? I got a homeboy. He's been raising his daughter since she was 12 years old. She does very well. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've also, when I got with my wife, she had a previous child. I did too. We raised our kids. I have a daughter she's not my stepdaughter. She's my daughter.
Right.
Right.
Even though
She's
she's not biologically yours.
Yeah. But you know what the old saying is, and my grandma used to tell me, if you feed them long enough, they start looking like you.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, like I'm
You know what I'm
raising I got a 7-year-old autistic son that I'm raising right now. You
Man,
know what I'm
salute to
saying?
you. Salute to you.
And I'm by myself with this little boy. You know what I'm saying? And I look for answers because, like I said, I'm not a woman. They are born and nurtured. They're more caregivers than
That's
you know what
right.
I'm saying. That's their nature. So I try to learn where I can go do better at. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a perfect parent. This is my first time. I got 6 kids, but this is my first time experience being a single parent on my own. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And here's the thing. And you could run from that accountability, but you're accepting it. And that's what we're trying to say. There's much more men out there. What happens is this world gets saturated with the bullshit motherfuckers, with the ones that don't, they all they want to do is hold money up and do that shit. No, we really want to try to set up something for the future because, again, it transferring generational wealth. You have a young man. That young man got to carry that name on. They got to carry the legacy, that young lady. And I always tell people, and told my son, always go look for a person that's got a mom and a dad in the house. Even the Bible says that. Because a lot of times what happens is you're going to get one-sided. And like I said, I would never see, this is where she's not understanding. I respect what she's saying, but to say I've dated this nigga, this kind of nigga, this, and it still ain't work. Maybe it ain't the niggas. Maybe it could be you. Maybe that could be the issue. Maybe just like with your mama when she was saying that. Maybe it could be her. Maybe because she don't want to be quiet and just listen.
Your way of thinking. That's a fact.
What you say?
I said it may can be her and her way of thinking too. That could be a fact.
Yeah. Because I mean, the way you came off, you don't even know us, man. I don't know you. I would never come on here yelling and screaming at you because as men, we're logical to say, okay, I can only say so much to this brother because we're on a panel, but I can't disrespect him. And I ain't going to get on here and get to yelling and talking about, yeah, that's why I can talk the way and you ain't going to overtalk me. Man, if it was a man, that's what she don't understand. The empathy came in as that being a woman. And then the first thing we had empathy as a man, because they say we don't have the emotion, that empathy came in, not just like emotion for us to cry, but we gave her the respect as a woman. What happened was she don't even have that empathy because she's so caught up thinking she's got masculinity in her. She don't got it. Because when it came down for us, when our testosterone levels raised, now everybody want to leave. Cause see, as men, we don't want to leave then. That's FYI to all women talking that match. If you dealing with a man, don't get him like that woman. Don't get him in situations like that because you don't know what a man level is, and that's what scares me. When you see them women, like they say, man, women put their hands on me, and then I just had to get a restraint on it because a man knows, man, if I put my hands on it, it's gonna be a problem. And I'm trying to tell you, but that's where. But if a man hit that woman, he going to jail. She's going to freak out. She hit him. The problem is the respect factor ain't there. And for some reason, like I heard your boy say this 2 times, said this. He was dating that one chick and he left her alone. They said, "Why you leave her alone?" He said, "Man, anytime a woman come up and tell me, bruh, and you capping and your whole ass," he said, "that ain't no woman for me, man. I don't want no homeboy." Yeah, I ain't trying to get no homeboy. I already got homeboys. I want a woman. I want a woman, not necessarily to submit, but a woman that's going to be my backbone. Sound like she didn't need no backbone. She already had hers.
Nah, that's a fact, big bro. Like, I just think it's sad that, you know what I'm saying, we women, a good woman is supposed to push her man to be a greater man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I truly believe. A man is supposed to secure, protect, and provide for his woman. You know what I'm saying? And his family and vice versa. Like it just so seems like we so against each other nowadays that it's just like it's a struggle to get back things to how they supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, they said we got a message. I guess Bourne had to run. You know, he had to go to the hospital, run to the hospital and take care of something. I don't know. But yeah, Queen, Miss BTV, I was gonna say we're gonna go ahead and get off of here, man. If you could probably hear this live for him, or he's around or whatever. I know he's busy, but I just want to say I appreciate everybody saluting to my boy channel, BTV TV, where he bullied the bullies. Subscribe to this channel right here, this Gangster Chronicles, New Jersey Gangster Chronicles, and he will have his channel back up, moving and running. You know what I'm saying? You can follow me on the Plug Podcast by Cross Your Heart. You can also follow my merch, crossyourheart.com. You put in 10% in the discount code. You get you get your first order off. You put the plug in the discount code. Black to P, you got anything you want to say, fam?
Yeah, I want you to drop your link inside the chat or inside the private chat so I can go ahead and subscribe to your page. Y'all know me, I'm Black to the P. I was on, you know, saying Born on the other on this other channel. I got my own channel, Black to the P, on YouTube with me and my homie Cuba the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And these are conversations that's needed. I enjoy these type of conversations. I'd rather not do the messy YouTube shit. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I
check
mean?
out my channel. I got some pretty good content, man. We talk about what's going on in our community, dealing with cultures. You know, Born to tell you, you know what I'm saying? He comes on there. Have a lot of people that come on my panel, great people, man. So again, it's all about dealing with what's going on with these kids. The laws need to be stricter for these kids when it comes to these predatory people. Also in our community, like what we watched today, where the mental health, we try to break down and get an understanding from other people that come on our panel about the mental health and why people think. And again, my question is always why. It ain't about what I know, because I don't know. You got to destroy things, right?
That's why you have to ask questions.
Right. Ignorance can be destroyed, but stupidity is to the bone.
Right. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So every day we try to strive, like today, and thank everybody that came on the panel, even the queens that came on here, because again, we destroy ignorance today on both sides. You see what I'm saying? So it was a learning process in here. But yeah, definitely check that out, and I will check yours out too, man. Matter of fact, in this back channel, I'm gonna give you my hit number anyway.
Yeah, that's a fact. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, I got you on that, man. So yeah, it's in the back chat. So yeah, man, I appreciate everybody's support, man. Hey, salute the Prince. I see you, Prince. Salute Benzo. I see you, man. Great bill.
Salute.
Yeah, man. Everybody, man. Like I said, you know what I'm saying. God, the brand. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody. Tap 5/5. Appreciate you, King. Everybody. Appreciate everybody supporting my boy. Tap into this channel, man. Tap into my boy's channel right there, Black to the P. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna keep going up, man. And stay great, Black man.
You too, brother. I appreciate you. I'm tapping in right now with you.
All right, peace, God.
Brothers, I'm sorry about that.
No,
That's all good, boy. You know, Jersey was gonna hold you down regardless.
Yeah, you already know I got you, King. You know, I'm in the shop. I'm in the whip with you.
All right, yo, man. Yo, I'm gonna end this live, man. I got some things I gotta handle. Something happening again in the house. Yeah.
All right, man. King, you stay safe. King, you need me. Hit me up.
I'm gonna call you as soon as I'm done what I'm doing.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace, y'all. Thanks for coming out.
Peace. You already know this shit, boy.
No doubt, bro. Peace.